Can I request everybody to kindly settle down? I request the volunteers to kindly close the side doors so that nobody enters from there. Students, kindly please settle down fast. Please lock the door, side door, so that there is no movement which is happening. Please close the door. The students who are standing in the side doors, please settle down, please. A very good morning. A very warm welcome to each one of you for this significant event, Pathway to Better Better Governance of Namma Bengaluru, jointly organized by Department of Public Policy, Economics, Political Science and Bengaluru Political Action Committee, BPAC. Today's discussion centers on the Greater Bengaluru Authority, a transformative initiative that promises to reshape how our beloved city Bengaluru is governed. As citizens, students and future leaders, understanding urban governance is not just academic, it's about our collective future. Before we begin today, I request everyone to kindly keep your mobile phones on silent mode. We'll have opportunities for interaction during the sessions. Let us commence today's proceedings by seeking divine blessings. I invite Sister Sajita, Head of the Department of English, to lead us in prayer.
A reading from the Holy Bible. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Dear friends, kindly bow your heads in surrender. Gracious and loving God, we thank you for this blessed day. A new beginning filled with hope, purpose and promise. As we gather here for the pathway to better governance of Namma Bengaluru, we seek, Lord, your divine wisdom and guidance. Bless our leaders and policy makers with vision and integrity, that their decisions may bring justice, harmony, and growth to our beloved city. Bless our speakers who share their knowledge and insight. May their words enlighten minds and illumine hearts towards positive change. Bless all stakeholders and participants, that together we may build bridges of cooperation and understanding. Lord, we pray for the people of Bengaluru. May every citizen feel empowered, included, and inspired to contribute to the greater good. As we commence this new journey of transformation, fill us with courage to dream, strength to act, and humility to serve. Lord, may your light guide every discussion, every decision, and every step we take today and beyond. Our Lady of Mount Carmel, pray for us. Our beloved foundress, Mother Teresa of Saint Rose of Lima, intercede for us. In your holy name, Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Thank you, sister. To formally welcome you all and set the tone for today's deliberations, I invite Dr. Suma Singh, Registrar Academics, Mount Carmel College, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning. In the 16th century, when Kempegowda first laid the foundation of the city of Bengaluru, and the 4 watchtowers were built at Kavipuram, Lalbagh, Alsur and Mekri Circle by Kempegowda II, the founders would have never envisaged that the city they were building would metamorphose from a bunch of villages to a vast metropolis, recognized to be one of the fastest growing city of the world, attracting the best of minds and investment. Namma Bengaluru has much more
office. Not all ward offices look that great. Some of them are not very, they're old and not beautiful. But, you can see there's a ward committee meeting happening in one of the ward offices. We are going from 198 ward offices to 368 ward offices. Now, this is the distance from democracy I'm talking about. You don't even need to go to the corporation. You need to go to the ward office, because that's where you'll find the ward engineer, ward councillor, ward health inspector. People that work on your ward are going to be stationed here. So this will be, in all likelihood, within 2 kilometers or less from wherever you live. So this is going to be the biggest change in local governance, hyper-local governance as we call it. There is a lot more good news here, but I'll come to this later. So, if you are too busy and you can only listen to one slide and then you have some other work to do, or you're busy watching your reels, then I request you to pay attention to this one slide, because I captured the 5 major changes that are happening in this. The first one, not a happy one. I'm not happy about this. We used to have a worshipful mayor who will wear nice robes and welcome presidents and prime ministers at the airport. Whether it's a public airport or Hall airport, they'll always be there. When mayor of San Francisco visits, the mayor of Bengaluru is there to welcome her or him. No longer. We don't have that anymore. Unfortunately, there is no mayor for the city of Bengaluru. Instead, we got 5 mayors, because we got 5 corporations. So they're still mayors, but there are multiple mayors for smaller parts of Bengaluru. And the GBA itself is not chaired by the mayor. It's chaired by the chief minister, vice chaired by the deputy chief minister. Within GBA, we also have an executive committee that is chaired by the deputy chief minister. This is where state government comes into city governance in a more formal structure. It has been happening informally, as a default, but now this gives a formal legal shape to it. The second one, the 2-tier governance. Many of you are students of public policy governance models. We talk about 73rd, 74th Amendment. You have 3-tier governance in rural, right? Jilla Panchayat, Taluk Panchayat, and then Gram Panchayat. Good. Everyone is listening to me already. So now we get that in Bengaluru governance. What is these 3 tiers? In a different way, 3 tiers. What are these 3 tiers? Now we have BBMP and ward committees. This is all past tense now, because we are already in GBA mode. Now we have Greater Bengaluru Authority, tier 1, followed by city corporations, followed by ward committees. These are the 3 tiers of urban governance, and I must tell you that there is no other city in India that has it. It's a very bold, big experiment. Whether it will be successful or not, time will tell. But it's a new way of looking at big city local governance. There are a lot of issues with it. We'll come to that also. But it is what the current law says. No more excuses. Ma'am talked about coordination. Dr. Suma Singh highlighted that, how the city has grown so big. Bus is run by one agency, one officer. Metro is run by another officer who reports into Delhi partly and reports into CM partly. We have BWSSB, which combines water and sewage. We have BESCOM for power. And then we have BBMP. Everyone blames BBMP for everything done by others. If you talk to BBMP engineers, they will tell you that we are the only ones that don't cut any road. We have no reason to dig any road. We just make the road a stay. Wherever Allah Bandhu, they will dig, they will cut, and then everyone will blame us. True. Because what business does BBMP have to cut or dig a road? They don't have a business. It's the other utilities that need to come in. So now they're all coming under one roof. And that roof is GBA. Alright. Other than GBA, we now have 5 corporations, and when you say 5 corporations, you need to understand it little to the next level. It also comes with a lot of other things. 5 corporations means 5 commissioners. You saw a glimpse of that, right? What those commissioners are doing. And I think there is a panel today with all these 5 commissioners that you will hear from them on what they are going to say about their corporation. They are nicely named as Bengaluru East Corporation, West Corporation, like that. But their jurisdiction is that. So if you have less things to worry about, you always do a better job with it. It also comes with zones. In the BBMP, we had 8 zones. Now we are going to 2 zones. Fixed. Every corporation has only 2 zones. Therefore, 2 chief engineers. Zone 1, chief engineer 1. Zone 2, chief engineer 2. Simple, plain. No confusion. If any of you work with BBMP, you know that you run around one office and then you are told that, no, you came to the wrong office, go to the other person. That kind of confusion will reduce, hopefully. Sorry, did I miss anything? Yeah, the last one is about the wards. I told you this is really big. It is going to, two things happened. Wards became smaller, ward committees became bigger. It's a double bonanza if you ask me. Smaller wards, bigger ward committees. Means increased citizen participation. That's the result. And towards the end of it, some Mount Carmel students have come forward to volunteer to demonstrate this to you. So if we have time, we will show that to you in the end of this session. Okay, so 3 tiers to 2 to 3. So we'll go and talk about the first two things and then I'll talk about the third tier. Okay, currently fragmented governance. I won't bore you. You heard it, right? Bengaluru is not governed by BBMP right now. This is something that a lot of people don't know. Everywhere we look at BBMP does a very part delivery of civic services and amenities. They do roads, they do footpaths, they do parks, they do drains. Ashte, over, done. They don't do water, they don't do sewage, they don't do electricity. They run bus stops, buses run by BMTC. So we have all this kind of thing. That's what we call fragmented governance. Alva? What is non-fragment or unified governance? This. Now in the Greater Bengaluru Governance Act, you are going to see Greater Bengaluru Authority headed by the CM. Who is the big boss of all these guys on the left? You know, they are all ministers. The yellow boxes are all ministers reporting into the chief minister right now. But all the ministers report to one person. Who is that person? Chief minister. So now chief minister is made as the head of the GBA. So hopefully that will mean that all the yellow boxes will work with each other better, right? And other than the other big news is this formalization of bringing the legislators, the ministers into the GBA. We have 28 MLAs and many times you get confused whether MLA is MLA or she's a councillor. They don't know exactly what role to play. In a big cities, this is a common problem, not just in Bengaluru, but any big cities. So now the MLA's job is at the second tier of governance, which is the state government. But for the first time, GBA has brought them formally into the third tier. This is a matter of contention and people have gone to court with it. So it's under legal process. We'll see what comes out of it. But it's really a new model and it's a kind of against the spirit of decentralized empowered governance. If you look at it from that point of view, if you look at it from what are the things that are broken, so how do we fix it, then this might look like, okay, this might be a practical solution. So it depends on how you view this. On the right side, you see the corporations and each corporation has a mayor, it has a commissioner, council, standing committees. Every corporation has standing committees. This is a very important part. Standing committees are run by the councillors. There is a standing committee for health, for example. So you have malaria, you have COVID. How do you work in that corporation? How do you work on public health issues? That's where these things come in. And then there is ward committee. So in summary, the institutional setup, there are two things in GBA, something that I want you to understand. The GBA, which is a jumbo cabinet as you call it, it has some 75 members or big number because every MLA, every MP, every MLC is in it, every minister is in it. So if you are a minister in Karnataka but you are elected from Raichur, you are also part of the GBA. You are MLC from, I don't know, Mysore, but you have a residence in Bengaluru, you are part of GBA. So some of these things are like that. If you follow the mayoral election, I think they followed, copy-pasted that model. Whoever can vote for BBMP mayor can vote for, are part of the GBA. That I have to check with experts like Ravi on it, but that's the sense I got when I read the legislation. It meets once in 3 months. It includes all these people, but there is also an executive committee, much smaller. Executive committee is really about execution. So it meets more often. It is run by the development minister. Currently, the development minister is the deputy chief minister, but it doesn't have to be. Whoever is the development minister will be chairing the executive committee. Much smaller group, has all the commissioners, doesn't have mayors, has all the MDs of organizations, meets more often, and they have the voice of the GBA. They are basically executing GBA. That is their job. What exactly the executive committee does is yet to be known. These are, those of you that are students of policy know that we have a bill and the bill gets discussed. I think Mr. Rizwan will be here later. They will talk about, Ravi is here. They'll talk about how the Greater Bengaluru work that's going on for 10 plus years. BPAC and others have been working on for a long, long time. It has gone through various things and come up here. But now it is an act. That means it is how things are. That's why the name board has changed, right? The name board says GBA. It doesn't say BBMP anymore. But there is more to that. What is that? That's called the rules and regulations. An act becomes real when rules are written about it. How often should a ward committee meet? Who should write the minutes of the, what is the budget limit for, the GBA executive committee? How much projects can a mayor sign off on? All of these decisions, most of them will be written out in the rules. In the GBA Act, there is something called sectoral expert committees. It just says that GBA will form expert committees, but doesn't say who should be in the expert committee, what are the qualifications of the person, how long is the expert committee. All of that will come in the rules. So if you are seriously trying to understand this, follow the rules. The Act is good, read the Act. There are books available online obviously, but rules is where you really get to know more of it. Chief Commissioner GBA now acts as a member secretary for both the GBA. I believe this Friday we are going to have the first GBA meeting. It's a very historic occasion where the CM is going to chair the first GBA meeting. The GBA will also appoint a chief town planner. There are a lot more things. I added it in to say that, okay, there is some thought given to town planning, which seemed to be missing in our city for a long time, but it prominently gets mentioned here. On the right side, functions, administrative, appointments, transfers, things like that, all are under GBA. Planning authority, this is another big news. How it will pan out, we have to see, but BDA is no longer the planning authority for Bengaluru. You might say that, okay, when did they plan, but that's a different question. GBA is the planning authority for this. And then it's supposed to do coordination. Remember the whole yellow boxes? It's supposed to fix that, right? How can a bus and metro be integrated better? Where do we need footpaths near the metro stations? Anytime you have a problem statement that has more than one box or one department, GBA has to come in, right? How exactly it will be done is through these meetings and the action items and things like that. Finally, formulating schemes. You want to decide, we are going to do 10,000 walkable footpaths. So how do you create that plan? Social welfare plans, education, BBMP runs schools, so many things like that. Another thing that is very important for you to understand is GBA also has Economic Development Agency. It is going to look at how to attract investments to this great city of Bengaluru and expand it in a more sustainable manner, create more job opportunities for all the graduates of MCC and everybody else. As you know, everyone looks at Bengaluru for economic opportunity, and now there is a specific agency that is being formed to create that. There is a climate action cell. Bengaluru is one of the very few cities in India to have a proper climate action plan. We not only have a plan, we have a cell, and that cell operates at a GBA level, working with the corporations. And I mentioned the sectoral committees. So many of the domain experts that are in the room may find themselves in the expert committees advising the departments on how to execute certain things. Okay, for those of you that understand zones and wards, here is how it changed. On the left side, we have the 8 zones. You're all familiar with this? 8 zones of BBMP. Most people that are interested in this kind of topic know which zone I am in. I'm in Bommanhalli. No, I'm not South Alla Bommanhalli. There's a distinction between South and Bommanhalli, right? So we know that there are boundaries. Gone. All that is gone now. We now have very simple mathematical formula: North, West, Central, South, East. And each of these corporations has 2 zones. Okay, clear? And for those of you that want to know a little bit more, what happens between zones and wards? There is something called a division. Any of you seen a division office? BBMP division office? Yes, a very important office, if you know what I mean. That's where a lot of things move, files move. So now there is a division. A division roughly equal to assembly constituency. That's how divisions are organized. So under the divisions, you have the wards. So now you heard 368 wards, 50 wards in East, 90 wards in West, things like that, right? They all will be organized in this fashion. Clear? Okay, administrative setup. On the left is the current administrative setup, what we currently have. So many special commissioners, right? Special commissioner this, special commissioner that, multiple hats. Somebody is special commissioner of finance and zonal commissioner. Somebody is special commissioner for something and additional charge BMTC. Things like that. We were having this kind of setup. What we are getting now is what you see on the right side. which I think is much cleaner. At least as someone who works with the BBMP officers on a regular basis, I like the clarity of this. Right? It's very simple. It has some special commissioners. Still, these are the ones, for example, the revenue. Bengaluru has done a lot of great work, won awards for, way of collecting property taxes, right? All India awards. So how do you take that process and bring it down to different corporations? So that function is kept at the GBA level. Climate Action Cell is at the GBA level. Health and Education at the GBA level. And we have Engineer in Chief at the GBA level. There's an organization called B-Smile for major infrastructure projects. That is also coming in. There is BMTF. That is another thing that comes in. Okay. So this, and within the corporation, meeting. Okay, I don't know if it's intentional or there is a reason behind it, but for me it sounds like council, so I put it in there. But it has the standing committees. The council elects the mayor and deputy mayor, for example. It elects the standing committees. And then there's the deputy mayor. And the great news is the mayor and deputy mayor now have a tenure of 30 months. Why is it good news? Because earlier it was 12 months. 12 became 30. Okay, we wanted 60, but 30 is okay, na? Better. By the time the mayor gets a welcome party and farewell party, 1 year, right? But now there can be like 20 months between the two parties, I think. We'll see how it works. But that is what is coming. Council itself is 5 years. Hopefully we'll have elections very soon. What delimitation is done and the next steps will follow and then elections will be held. On the commissioner side, we have the major roads and all of that coming in. So the lot of empowerment at the commissioner level is what I see. Earlier we had zonal commissioners. They also were empowered in the BBMP Act to some extent, better than the earlier model. But now I think it's a lot more clear. I read a lot more clarity when I read the Act. So you will see all of this when you look into this law. Okay, the third tier, ward committees. So when I first read the GBG Act, the final copy, I was stunned to see the opening statement. Because on the left side you see the BBMP Act, on the right side you see the GBG Act. The word ward committee is mentioned in the preface itself, which conveys intent. So citizens like me and all of you should hang on to it. Anytime anyone tries to devalue ward committees or not make it work very well, you remind them of this. See, this is the top priority of this act. Therefore, we must do everything. So this is how we can hold the system accountable, by saying that. And I'm very glad to see ward committees mentioned in a very positive light. Who is in the ward committee? How many of you have been to a ward committee meeting in this room? Okay. All the big lip leaders have gone to ward committee meetings. Okay, so great, right? So what is a ward committee meeting? A ward committee meeting is chaired by the ward councillor. Okay, and we're going to demonstrate this to you in a fun way. We got a councillor waiting in the wings to come on stage. We'll introduce you to the fake councillor soon. But the ward council committee has ward committee members. These are citizens of the ward, and it has the engineer and all the officials of the ward. And it already had, even before GBG Act came, it already had representatives from BESCOM and BWSSB. If you go on to any ward committee meeting, you would see a police officer in a uniform, because they are also part of the ward committee meeting, right? So these are the people meet once a month to work on the local issues. Earlier, Mayor Gangambike Mallikarjun, she was a mayor, and she used to say, local problems can and must be solved locally. Don't bring them to Hudson Circle. Waste of time. Solve it locally. The problem is fix it locally. That can be done in the ward committees. And I'm pleased to tell you that a lot of that has happened in Bangalore. It slowed down, died because of lack of elections. But hopefully it will come back with great vigor now. So this is how a ward committee looks like. Who attends? Everyone, chaired by the councillor. Ward committee secretary is appointed, who will act as a minute taker and action item owner. And when it will happen in the ward office, first Saturday of every month. You remember this. Don't make plans for first Saturday. You need to be in the ward office of the first month. First Saturday of the month, not all Saturdays. Please plan your trips accordingly. Functions, it has to monitor public works, it has to do all of these things. It can do rainwater harvesting, it can do a lot of things actually. The law gives ward committee a lot of functions. A lot of people worry that it doesn't have a lot of powers and it doesn't have legal sanction. Councillor may veto it. All that is true, technically on paper. But in real life, from what I've seen and many of you have seen, ward committees give you that in-person connection with other people and to get things going. So there is a long history to ward committees, like I mentioned. What you see below is a ward committee meeting in Jayanagar. I think it's Gangambika Madam's meeting. You can see police officers, you can see citizens, all of that, right? And we had so many meetings and we had a lot of events happening right here in this college too. You know, the Chief Commissioner of BBMP used to send a message like this on WhatsApp and social media, inviting all citizens, please come, right? Look, see the location. Where is this meeting? Nimma Wardana Ward Kacheri. Isn't that beautiful? That happened in Bengaluru. It happened quite well. Then it came down. And now the main reason I'm here is to make this work again. That's my secret agenda. Okay. Anyone can tell me where these photos are from? Any guess? Ma'am, you can't answer. Yes? Looks familiar to any of you? What is it? Mount Carmel College. The first Bengaluru, Bruhat Bengaluru Ward Samiti Samavesha happened there. More than 300 people. See the number of people holding their ward numbers? This is 2022. Or 21? 22, I think. 28th May 2022. Yeah. I think the guy in the selfie is here. I saw him somewhere. Yeah. Where is he? Okay, he's a selfie man. Got a little old, more grey hair, but he's still going hard at it. Yeah. So, good to see you there, Ravi. So, that's what happened. We're trying to bring all the citizens to work on the ward committee. Okay, I think this is the last slide before we go into the kit. So, the big change between, just please pay attention to the left side only, we'll come to the right side later. Currently, ward committee has only 10 members, right? All of them are nominated by the councillor. The councillor, once councillor gets elected, he or she can pick any 10 people and say, your ward committee. Ashte, over. You can be a RWA retired person working in the ward for 15 years, he will keep you out of it. For whatever reason, right? It has happened in Bengaluru. So, all nominated. The power is with the councillor. So, we fought a lot about it, saying that this is not fair because the ward committees, the spirit of ward committees to bring active citizens of the ward to work on the ward affairs. So, the team that worked on the law made a nice compromise. What did they do? They increased the 10 to 14 and they kept the politicians happy by keeping 7 nominated and the other 7 are by the sortition system. That's a technical word for lottery. And when you say lottery, you might get a negative connotation to it, but it's a beautiful system of choosing. When you don't want to conduct an expensive election or an elaborate process, you simply conduct a lottery. And how to conduct a lottery is the part of the street play that's coming right here on the stage in the next 5 minutes. Okay, so now within the lottery you have all of this. The tenure is 20 months, which is a new thing that has happened. So every 20 months you get a new ward committee. In a way it's good because it allows 14 more people to get in, right? By the time his term is done, you get 3 times 14 ward committee members. And hopefully if you missed your chance first time, second time, you might get it in. On the right side is the biggest news, is the numbers, right? Look at the number of ward committee members there is scope for now. In the current system of 225 wards, which is really 198, but officially it's 225, there are 2,250 ward committee members. In the new system, we are going to get 14 members per committee, 7 nominated, 7 lottery, but a total of 5,152 ward committee members. Do you think Bengaluru has a lot of active citizens? Do you think the number is exceeding 5,000? Do you think our ward committees will attract active citizens to be part of it? Okay. So that is the thing that is a very important part of it. Now, these are the questions. This is a second or third such session I am doing as talking about GBG. And a lot of questions online or in person that come in, right? What is the biggest question? Can active citizens really become ward committee members? What exactly is this lottery system, boss? And is it, all these questions come up. When are the elections and all that? So that's why BPAC and Mount Carmel has arranged today's session. You will get answers to all these in the subsequent sessions. But I'm going to demonstrate to you with the help of my young friends and fake corporators how the lottery system works. So let me just invite on stage the newly elected fake councillor of Vasant Nagar ward, Ms. Ashwini, with a big round of applause. And her ward engineer, who is the ward committee secretary, carrying all the files and coming onto the stage. Okay, today the election is over. She's been elected as the councillor. Today is the day of the lottery. Huh? First GBA council. Please, sir, please. If media is here, that will not be good. That's why I keep using the word. Councillor madam, I request you to greet all your voters. Yes. Mic idea? Okay, we have Mr. Jairaj. Both Ashwini and Jairaj, side note, have been very active participants of ward committee. That's why they are here. Right? And in this particular thing, Jairaj is playing the role of ward engineer as well as designated secretary to this ward committee, and he is going to conduct the ward committee's election lottery today. Not election, lottery today. So who is needed for the lottery? Who needs to come into ward committee? Who are eligible to be in the ward committee? Residents, right? Citizens of the ward. Okay, if you are a resident of a ward in Vasant Nagar, can you become ward committee member of Rajaji Nagar? Yes, very important. You have to be a local resident. How do you prove that somebody is local resident? Beda. No, all failed. Full failure. You need voter ID, but your name should be in the voter list of that ward. Aita? Because how many people have voter IDs with their live in Madhavapura and their voter IDs is Shivaji Nagar? Alva? So they have to be in the current voter list. So we now have the aspirants of this ward committee. Please join us on stage. Queue up. Come on. Please give them a round. They are active citizens of this ward. Also happen to be students of Mount Carmel. They are wanting to be in this ward committee. So you can also do one namaskara just for fun. All right. So what Mr. Jairaj is going to do is he is going to check the voter ID and whether their names are in the voter list or not. If their names are not in the voter list, then they will be rejected. Okay, that's what he's doing. So she is selected, she is in the ward. Okay, she is also in the ward. I think we need to move a little fast. Ma'am, how much time do we have, ma'am? Revati, ma'am? You have to close? Alright. Okay, this will be 2 minutes, will be done. Okay. Jairaj, let's move fast. Yeah. Okay, so they have written their name and their name is added to the lottery bowl. So we are going to pick names out of this lottery system. Okay, only they are eligible, so they are all put in there. Oh, we have some trouble. Okay, this person is. Okay, she came to the wrong ward committee, so she's going to be declined. So sad, sorry about that. And she volunteered to play this role, so a round of applause for her. Yes. Okay, now all of them have been selected, their names have been added. The secretary and secretary to the secretary have completed their job. Councillor is getting a little impatient, she wants to be done with it fast. Okay. So we are going to pick 5 members for demonstration purposes. There are 10 people that have come into the lottery today. Remember, the most important thing is, it's not good enough to be an active citizen and want to be a ward committee member. You have to show up physically with the necessary documentation. That's what makes you an active citizen interested in participation. Sending 100 tweets in a day doesn't make you a ward committee member. Right? Nothing wrong with that, but that is different. This is different. This is a ground level engagement with the local government. So now we wish them all luck. And now the Honorable Worshipful Councillor Madam will pick names and read them out.
Sharadi.
Charadi, ma'am, please come forward. Okay. Sir, lucky day.
Unnati.
Right. We have one more ward committee member.
Saida.
Saida. All right. Two more.
Adyasha.
Okay.
Shubhangini.
Okay. Presenting to you the ward committee of Vasant Nagar. All right. And I think they should take a group picture with their councillor and their secretary. Okay, this is the, actually can you put the lottery on that side? Okay. So the idea of this whole thing is to make more people aware of the transparency of this new system. This is going to make a lot of people happy, including me, if it actually works like this. And part of the agenda is to make it work like this. So all of you have to help make it happen. And this is what the law says anyway. So when the rules are written, it should be done in something like this, similar fashion. So this is the ward committee of the Vasant Nagar. Wish them luck. They have 20 months tenure. After that, those that didn't get selected may get selected. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks. A big round to all the volunteers, including those that wanted to be rejected also. Thank you very much. You can take your seat. Can I play a video or are we done? Okay. No, because the next thing is. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity, MCC and BPAC. Really appreciate it.
ನಮ್ಮ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಎರಡು ಅಂಶ ಅಂತೂ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ. ಒಂದು, ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಇನ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಟಾಕ್. ಸೊ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್, ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ. ಎರಡನೇದು, ಥಿಯರಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಖಂಡಿತ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ಡಿಮಿಸ್ಟಿಫೈಯಿಂಗ್ ದಿ GBA ಟು ದ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾನ್ಯುಲರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಆಸ್ ಅ ಟೋಕನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ accept this token of love. Thank you. Thank you. Understanding the legislative journey and political context behind the GBA is crucial. This authority didn't emerge in a vacuum. It's the result of extensive deliberation, consultation, and political will. For this important conversation, we have Shri Rizwan Arshad, member of Karnataka Legislative Assembly from Shivaji Nagar, and also the chairman of the Joint Select Committee of the Greater Bengaluru Governance Act 2024, in conversation with Shri Ravichandar, member of the Brand Bengaluru Committee. This discussion will be moderated by Ms. Nitya Mandhyam, Principal Correspondent, Times of India. Please welcome our distinguished speakers. Well, they're right at the door. Yeah, please.
Thank you, everybody. In the interest of saving time, come, Nitya. We'll get started. I didn't see you.
Oh, sorry.
So you can get started.
There we have Mr. Rizwan Arshad.
I'm going to give the context of how we got here. In the interest of saving time, I'll just give them the context and save some.
Can I start?
He's coming. I like the fact that we have had no discussion when we got to.
Oh, yeah.
That's very good. I like spontaneity. Hello, sir.
Hi, boss. You came on time.
See, you don't have.
Over to you, Nitya.
Hi, good morning, all of you.
The administrative history of Bangalore is synonym of the fast and chaotic development of the city. In 1995, when Bangalore Mahanagara Palike was formed, it was representing only about 100 wards, and most of them were within the old city. But now it grew, and then it grew from BMP to Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike, which had about 8 city municipal councils and in 110 villages. Today, we have the Greater Bangalore Authority with 5 city corporations, which is the largest that we've had, and a new change for the city itself. However, the pledge has still not been fulfilled to the great extent. In the most recent election that happened was in the BBMP Council, was in 2015, which was about 10 years ago. And since then, we've been waiting for council elections, we've been waiting for leaders, councillors, and representative members who can hear our voices and take it forward. Another significant structural change today with the formation of Greater Bangalore is under the chairmanship of the Chief Minister, alongside the member legislatures such as the MLAs, MPs, and the official. The given objective is to align to various civic institutions such as BDA, BWSSB, BESCOM, and the BMTC, and have one platform in planning and making the infrastructure decisions. However, it has been historically proven that institutional redesign doesn't automatically lead to improved results. Thus, the critical questions are, what can distinguish the GBA from its predecessors? Will it fill the lack of accountability caused by lack of elected representatives? And how will it see to it that the citizens realize a greater Bangalore, not literally in terms, but also the quality of life? We have with us Mr. Rizwan Arshad, Chairperson of Greater Bangalore Authority, and Mr. V. Ravichandar, the Urban Governance Expert and GBA Task Force member, to discuss this issue. So first question to Mr. Rizwan. The GBA was established as one of the following objectives, and streamlined governance, integrated planning. What did government consider as the main reasons while it made this happen? And also, you've been championing it for quite some time now. So how do you think it's going to make a difference from the BBMP as today we have the GBA?
Good morning, everyone. So, very happy that the city has started, discussing and deliberating on the most important aspect which affects everyone's daily life, the development, the ease of living. And that's why I was also very interested when I got a call from BPAC that you should come. And especially me and Mr. Ravi, both who have worked on this act, are very, have not gone through this in a sense through the perspective of a government, right? We are all citizens and citizens of Bangalore, and almost everyone here, including me, I don't think so we were happy with the present administration of Bangalore, which was named as BBMP. We had more expectations, aspirations, and rightly so, everybody should have it, because when we are an international city, we should have an administration which can take care of our aspirations to that level. So here I would like to say, in a common man's word, that GBA is not just administrative apparatus. It is a unique model of governance which is never tried earlier in the country, right? So how are the cities in the country governed? If you go back a little and understand, whether it's Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, or different 2-tier, 3-tier cities, they are usually governed by the Municipalities Act, right? A municipality starts with 1 lakh population, few are 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh population, 20 lakh population, 30 lakh population. But Bangalore city, or cities like Bangalore, we have 1.45 crore population today, right? And with 1.5 crore population, we are having an act which is governing us, which was governing us for a long time, which was designed for a lakh, 2 lakh or 10 lakh population. So we had to evolve, bring in us administrative apparatus and act which could take care of, because we are hosting more than 20% of the state's population in one city. Karnataka state's population, more than 20% of the population resides in Bangalore. So Bangalore is no longer just a city. It is quite bigger than a city, right? And the more and more people migrate here, reside here, it is not only from across Bangalore, not only from across the country, even from other countries people have migrated for work, and then they have liked the culture, they have liked the people, they have liked the weather. Whoever comes to Bangalore wants to stay here. And everybody has right to stay here. I'm not going into venture into that, right? So we are welcome, but are we prepared to handle this? Is this kind of a situation? No. And earlier Bangalore was too small, right? It started expanding exponentially across, and all the rural areas across Bangalore became Bangalore city. So northern Bangalore is now up to the airport, right now. And recently when I was traveling that side, I could see it's gone beyond airport also. Eastern Bangalore has gone way beyond. Western Bangalore, South Bangalore and all. And every area of Bangalore, like I'm a legislator and a resident of Central Bangalore. The Central Bangalore has a different issue than the North Bangalore. The East Bangalore have completely different issues than the South Bangalore. What used to happen earlier was we had one corporation which had 800 square kilometers area. And that one corporation had one mayor who had 11 months tenure, one corporation commissioner, which was impossible. As a legislator, it was difficult for me to get the catch hold of the corporation commissioner, chief commissioner, and make him sit and boss understand my issues. Because he was not behaving irrationally, but he had no time because he had so much of work. And everything should come to the head office, go back. It takes months. So the key point is, if it has to be citizen-centric, it has to be decentralized. That was one aspect we kept in mind, that any act, any law, any administrative structure, if it has to be pro-people, it has to be near people. So we had to restructure this whole, thank you, ma'am. We had to restructure this whole administrative mechanism, decentralize it, divide this corporation, or dividing is a wrong word, restructure this corporation into multiple corporations so that those corporations can take care of those issues which are prominent in those areas. Like Mr. Ravi, if you could remember, we are going through the deliberations in the council when the BBMP was in place. And we were trying to understand if any of the one issue of one area has been deliberated in the council extensively. No, it's never, because everybody is trying to put in their issues, everybody is being asked to talk in limit, nothing in conclusion. And today, these 5 corporations will have 5 councils elected by the people. They'll have no other work but to debate and deliberate and come out with solutions for the problems of those areas, right? And they're autonomous, they have all the freedom, they collect their taxes, they discuss in their councils, and they spend in the area. So we have created a model of governance which is decentralized, which is autonomous. At the same time, we are one city, So we need coordination, we need a overall master planning, and we have different parastatal agencies from our past which we have created. Those have to be coordinated. So all these aspects we have taken care and brought in a new model of governance which is called GBA, and this has started functioning from September the 2nd. We are in October 6th. So just 1 month back. And I would like to tell you that my friends across the country who are legislators, who are members of parliament, who have been mayors of major cities, we have been friends across parties. Right? They have been trying to talk to me, trying to understand, and they're telling we are waiting for 1 more year for you guys to perform. If this performs, this will be one of the good model for us to adopt in bigger cities.
Thank you, Rizwan. While speaking about restructuring, right, Ravi, this question is to you. You've been part of both BBMP restructuring committee and later the Brand Bengaluru committee with a political gap in between during the BJP tenure. What were the key changes or reforms that you truly wanted to see and genuine devolution of power with respect to city governance? And could you name 3 most critical aspects you felt were essential for the formation of this?
Okay. So just by way of context, so the first committee was there from 2014 to 18. We had given our initial report and 9 other reports and a draft bill. The committee again came into existence in 2023 as the Brand Bangalore Committee, and we gave a draft bill which was a modified version of it was tabled, and subsequently Rizwan Saab was the legislative chairman who shepherded all the multiple viewpoints to see the bill that has finally emerged. In terms of what was the thinking at the committee level, I think it's important just from a overall context. You see, when committees like this are formed, you really have some different pathways that you can choose. You could do a report which is idealistic, strong in theory, but zero chance of seeing the light of day. Or you have the option of being theoretically strong, pragmatic in its outlook, which has a reasonable chance of seeing the light of day. So I must tell you that at the beginning itself, the choice that we made was to go down the more pragmatic kind of route to see change happen. We could well write, in the best Oxford English, a report which is high-sounding, highfalutin, everything. And I'll give you an example of what that would look like. You could actually suggest, and I believe that needed to happen, but it's not possible, is that the city becomes the third tier of government in the true sense of the term. Like you have center and state. The city becomes a third tier. That bus we missed in the original constitution framing. The cities were called local bodies, and therefore they became a vassal of the state government. So if you ask me, ideally, the third tier of government, empowered in every sense as government, is really the way to do it. Is it possible to conceive that we could roll back everything that has happened over the last 70 years into one city government? The honest answer is no. So this is really what I mean by the trade-off between what you might like to write. So you could write a report which gathers dust, or you try to find a pathway in a dysfunctional setup which could potentially work. So our whole idea really was we understood the dysfunctionalities. There are lots of analysis, people speak about it also. So the key things that we came up with is that the broad contours of what is required needs a mix of what I call as deep decentralization as possible. I mean, Srinivas gave an excellent exposition of how this whole thing really, it was fantastic. Thanks, Srini, for doing that. So the idea of deep decentralization at one level and what I call appropriate centralization at the apex level. Both are required. You know, the only city that tried multiple corporation was Delhi. It failed because they didn't have an apex level. So South Delhi became very rich, West and East Delhi had no money, and it collapsed. That is unlikely to happen out here. We may have other challenges as we go forward. So the idea was also to learn from others. So one was the idea of decentralization, which throws up the idea of multiple corporations where you have more corporations where the elected people can be closer to the constituency is an idea of decentralization. Strengthening the ward committee is an idea of decentralization. And as you go forward, There is basically what's called in theory a subsidiarity principle. You do things at the lowest possible level, you can do it. If you cannot do it at the lowest level, you take it to the mid-level, then you take it to the higher level. And let me just give you two quick examples. Garbage is an area, technically you can do it at the lowest level. It is an extremely local issue and you can even do decentralized processing, handling, etc. But something like transport is a regional level activity. You cannot plan transport at a ward level. You need to plan it at a region level in terms of transport. Just to give you an example of what. So that was one major thing that we were very clear about. The second is, whether we like it or not, we have a legacy of BBMP and 7 or 8 parastatals, BESCOM, BMRCL, BWSSB, a whole lot of alphabet soups as I call them. And they exist. We cannot wish them away. And I would think that a bulk of our life, more than 60-70% of my life is outside of BBMP. Transport, water, various sewerage, electricity, it's all outside BBMP. So therefore you need to find a solution where you can get a higher quality of life within this kind of silo setup that we have got. Hence the idea of centralization through the idea of the GBA. I think this was the core construct of what the committee came up with, that we need to figure out how we can decentralize and at the same time hold it together as one city. Because there was already talk that splitting BBMP is splitting the city. It is not. In fact, the setup that has been suggested, the jury is still out whether it will work or not work, has a greater chance of Bangalore working as a strong brand than the earlier setup that we had. So that was really the two big elements. The underlying element in all this at the end of the day is accountability. All the things that we set up, do they make the leaders more accountable to the public that they serve? We believe this has the seeds of greater accountability. There has been criticism, for example, why is the CM and the Bangalore Development Minister at the top? Why can't you have a mayor? There are practical problems on why you cannot have a directly elected mayor, for example. But the key thing is in this structure, in my view, and I could be wrong, nobody has a place to hide. Tomorrow you have a major urban flooding in Bangalore, which is a citywide issue. The GBA and its system is in charge. The GBA Chief Commissioner is a 365-day office. You have a much greater clarity of who's responsible for what in the new system than in the earlier system. So I would say decentralization, centralization, and accountability as the core construct of what we have suggested.
While you actually speak about decentralization and also how the mayor, right, each city corporation will have its own mayor and he's going to be accountable in the center. He or she will be. The question is, why does GBA provide only 2.5-year term for a mayor when the BBMP, I mean the Karnataka Act clearly mandates a 5-year term? See, when there was BJP ruling also, we just had 1-year term for the mayor. Now you have 2.5-year term for the mayor. And why is it that this government at least hasn't actually taken, or the GBA hasn't taken complete accountability that there will be a mayor for 5-year term who will be accountable for the corporation that he is responsible for?
Ravi conveniently kept the mic for this. So
Political questions.
See, we had a mayor for 1 year. Like, it has been our convention to elect mayors for 1 year. So 1-year mayor, it was very difficult for him or her to get into the position, try and understand and try to execute something. By the time they would do, their tenure would be over. So first you should appreciate us that from 11 months we have brought it to 30 months.
Correct.
But
Then
you could
push us to
actually
do
give
more,
5 years,
make it 5 years. So of course there are the thinking in the committee when we deliberated this was that we should have at least 2 mayors in one tenure so that many others would also get a chance. See, we don't know the youngster sitting here who has what talent unless they are given an opportunity. Like if I had not been given an opportunity to sit and work on an act for a city like Bangalore, even, I mean, forget about others, even I had never thought that I would be able to do this, right? When we got an opportunity, we work on it. So many people should get opportunity. So at least 2 mayors in one term and 30 months tenure is a decent tenure was the consensus we build, because whatever we do, we need consensus of people to agree on the thing.
If I can come in. And Rizwan Saab is one of the best consensus maker. I mean, he's
We
able
have
to...
the GBA formed because
Exactly. In a big way, he's the one who made sure that everybody finally signed off. We got to realize in all this, and here I just want to make one point, one time generically. Actually, in our bill, we had asked for 5 years as the mayor. So, but we realize it's the government's prerogative to decide what they wish to do as the act. So many things of what is there in our bill is not necessarily there in the final act, but one is still supportive of this bill as a sign of progress. Perfect is the enemy of the good. It is, we need incrementalism, and 2.5 years is better than 1 year. And what has gone from 1 to 2.5 can go to 5 at a future date. When you need to get buy-in of the people who sign off, for instance, it is necessary to leave enough things out there that they can buy into. If you say, this is the only thing I'm going to sell, and take it or leave it, in most cases you will not get the bill at all. So the process is, so 2.5, look at the other way. If you get a terrible mayor, you have a chance to replace the mayor in 2.5 years. And look at the positive side of it. Otherwise you're stuck with the person for 5 years. So it's a question on a glass half full, glass half empty. How do you look at it?
But Ravi, on this point, right, with respect to when forming the GBA, right, you had given suggestions, and a lot of urban experts who are there sitting here, right, have given suggestions. Why is it that public consultation is just heard but never listened? There's a very thin line between hearing and listening. It's heard.
Nitya, it's a nice line, but it's far from the... I'll tell you, the committee level, for example, we met with over 1,000 people, and I specifically want to call out BPAC, which is also organizing the committee. In 2014-15, when we did the first round of consultations, BPAC was a very, very important institutional member. In fact, they acknowledged in the report itself. And for the record, it needs to be mentioned that BPAC was the first institution that called out the number of 5 corporations.
Yeah.
Our report came much later, but BPAC actually gave a report that this is why we believe 5 should be there. And in a way that you have 5 now, you can almost say that BPAC was listened to. So therefore, the point really is, there is a lot. What happens is, it's a selective thing. If something is finally there which I didn't like, I think you didn't listen to me. But if you listen to me, it is fantastic. Everything is great. I think we have our own personal biases in terms. I think this bill, one at the committee level and one at his the legislative subcommittee process, I think has done a fair amount of listening to people. And what you see at the end of the day is actually a compromise kind of thing. It is not the perfect bill, but it is better than what was preceding it. That's how I look at it.
I mean, to add to him, one round of consultation was done by the committee. One round of consultation was done by the committee, the legislative committee, and we also went across Bangalore city, met thousands of people. Many of them have mailed us and all that. And this bill is the only bill which is deliberated so much before it came into effect. Because in the assembly also, when the government, our Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, presented the bill, the legislators across the party line, they said, no, we want to deliberate, you can't bring it like this. So he said, okay, we'll open the session to deliberate this. But 1 day, 2 day, 3 day will not be enough. That is what their thing was. Then we sent it to the select committee, which took almost a year. And multiple, nearly 20, 22, 20, maybe 21, 22 sessions were held for hours together to deliberate, called so many domain experts, called the civil society, met the people. So ultimately it is one of the most discussed and deliberated bill which is here. In fact.
And here I just want to add, we got a chance to bat for our bill compared to the bill that got tabled, and it's on record why we still believe some of our features are better, and that was also taken on record. It's part of their whole proceedings.
While I'm aware of what you had presented, right? So this one point, after much deliberation and everything that has happened, do you realize that the GBA bill, it excludes mobility? And what its scope is, why isn't BMLTA integrated into the GBA framework, considering that mobility in Bangalore is not just BMTC, but it's a coordination between Namma Metro, BMTC, the authorized taxi operators. Recently, if you see in the airport, there's been a lot of issue about illegal taxi operators and how this issue is. GBA doesn't have a lot of clarity with respect to mobility specifically, while it's covered everything else.
Right. See, BMLTA Act has passed, and we are yet to frame the rules and bring it into effect. And we were in a parallel process to create an act for the city, right? And one of the basic ingredients of this act, as Mr. Ravi said, was coordination amongst all the parastatal agencies, which includes the transport agencies, whether it is BMTC, Metro, or other transport agencies. So while one act is passed and while another act is in the process to be passed, we have brought in BMLTA integrated into the GBA, right? Now the GBA has come into effect. Now the government has to sit and look into the both acts and bring it into effect harmoniously between these two. If we had excluded the BMLTA and in the GBA, that would have been a different vertical altogether, which would be very difficult to coordinate. So that is one of the reason thinking. And
so Nitya, they are there. BMLT is there, DULT is there. The position with respect to BMLTA, the Land Transport Bill, for those who are wondering what this alphabet soup is basically the act was passed, but the rules were not framed. And an act without rules has no teeth. So the rules are equally important for it to move forward. The BMLTA is there, and GBA basically has 5 key functions. It has planning for the city, it has integration, it has coordination, it has this whole financial distribution to make sure that no corporation fails because of lack of funds, and it has the climate action and economic development agencies. What is the act of integration? All the transport agencies you mentioned are there. The act of integration, the word integration means how do you integrate for outcomes across multiple agencies, each of whom dance to a different tune. They are silos. So whether it is BMTC, BMRCL, whether it is the corporations, integration, the act of integration of the GBA is to knock heads to get a desired outcome, and that includes mobility also. The act of coordination is coordinating the inter-corporation issues, etc. There are boundaries where the lines exist between the two. That is the coordination. So all this in principle has been thought through. What we now have to see that in action, how does it taken forward?
So while speaking about whether it's going to, principally everything is nice, right? We all know that. BBMP also had a lot of ideologies, but implementation is a big issue with our governance. So the governance issue that Bangalore is facing is that there are various agencies, and the parastatal agencies have a common mandate, right? Be it cleaning, be it, but different segments though. Does the structure of GBA actually incorporate them, in your opinion, or does it present like a danger to the additional level of administration that is there? Because BBMP commissioner, see, passing the buck is one of the most famous things that the BBMP did. GBA hasn't done it yet. We don't know because it's individual corporations trying to deal with it. But do you think the common mandates can be handled well?
It is. Actually, again, it's important that we are right now still at the construct stage. We have to see how it implements. See, the earlier position was the BMRCL or BESCOM or any of these agencies or BWSSB could do whatever it wanted. It was not answerable to BBMP. It was answerable to their secretary if it was a government department like BWSSB or BDA, or it was answerable to their board if it's a corporation like BESCOM, BMRCL. They are their bosses, not the thing. By bringing them under the GBA system and saying you're part of this, you're consciously bringing these people under a particular wing, saying that this is, you will also take your instructions from here. And at the back end, the concerned government department agencies, or let's take a corporation, BESCOM will modify its articles of association to recognize the existence of GBA, and that as per the legislative act, the GBA is going to decide the planning and for the city, and that BESCOM is a player in that whole game. Earlier, it never existed. Please understand this. So once you make the amendment to the articles of association of BESCOM, that this is what will guide you, the board takes its powers from what the Articles of Association says. And once that says that GBA exists and GBA is going to be the master planner, local planning for the city, the BESCOM or BMRCL or BMTC cannot act on their own anymore. It was a situation pre-GBA that as the BBMP, let's say want sewerage line in Mahadevpura, but if BWSSB decided they will do it in Yelahanka, it will get done in Yelahanka because they are not answerable here. In the new system, it's not possible. If the overall goal has been agreed that we will first focus on this place before coming there, they have to follow it. It's a huge change. They cannot be loose cannons.
One more thing, the most common thing what we are seeing today is, today the BBMP lays a beautiful road. The following month, the BESCOM people will come and dig it, right? So, or the BWSSB will come and dig it. So now with GBA, as Mr. Ravi said, at the top, at the GBA level, all these parastatals are the members. But we have added one more thing. If there is coordination at the top and no coordination at the bottom, it doesn't work. So what we have done is, we have also constituted a consultative and coordination committee at the assembly level, where once in a month, all the parastatal agencies has to sit with the corporation officials at the ground level. If it is, I am the member of this assembly, I have to call a meeting or attend a meeting of the coordination committee where every parastatals will come, where every project will be discussed there. Okay, we are laying the road next month. Do you have anything to dig, rectify? Do it now. Please don't dig this after the road is laid, right? That ground level coordination was missing. So GBA Act now mandates that at the top and at the bottom, all the parastatal agencies have to coordinate amongst each other, agree on doing what, who has to do first, then the second work, then the third work. So
while the coordination, I mean, it's great to know that they're actually going to have a monthly meeting to discuss this and coordinate. A key question that a lot of us actually have is that whether GBA will truly be financially independent with the revenue collection and everything that they have. Now that each corporation is collecting its own revenues, which can be used for the particular corporation's development, you know, it could be through trade license fee. How do you plan to ensure that the state's pool fund are distributed equally and there's efficient work across the corporations? So sir, the sub-question is, if you see, the corporations are divided, one ward, there is one city corporation with 111 wards, one with 63 wards. So it's divided in different numbers, right? So don't you really think that there'll be one particular corporation which has more revenue and will develop better than the rest?
So I'll answer to both of your questions. One is, there is a misconception that the property tax and other revenue of the corporation will be pooled by GBA and then redistributed. No. The corporations are autonomous, independent, they will collect their taxes, they will spend their taxes, okay? Two, this is the first time we have mandated in this act that if any corporation has revenue deficit, it is the responsibility of the state government to fulfill that deficit. So no corporation will remain poor. We have mandated. It is the duty of the government to come to the rescue. Second, as you said, there are one corporation which have more wards, other corporation. This is done keeping in the future development of the city. Like East Bangalore has just 51 wards, West Bangalore has 104 wards, right? The 111 wards, sorry. Bangalore is growing at the eastern side. It's saturated at the western side. So the growth where the new areas have to be added in future is less in west, more in east. So that is the principle we have taken, that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, all the developed panchayats which we need to be integrated in these corporations, and east will have a larger area to be included, west has a limited area, south has a limited area, north will get a large area to be included. So that is the principle for keeping in the future development in mind.
With respect to the master plan, right, like you spoke earlier in your point, will GBA be given the mandate to formulate the next master plan that we have all been waiting for, right? Because that gives a picture for the city.
So, Yeah.
Or will it again, go into the hands of BDA, which has been trying to do it
No.
for a while?
So right now, the local planning authority under law is the GBA. So on that, there is no doubt. Question really is, some agency has to be mandated to do the master planning exercise, to do the consultative process, who carries the budget to do the master plan, tenders and gets the agency which will do it. So it has to be anchored somewhere. It will be a GBA decision as to where it will be anchored. It could be anchored with the BDA, which has been doing it traditionally. But there's a big difference from the past. This time around, the BDA will be working under the express instructions of the GBA and the various corporations. The individual corporations will come up with their plan that has to be taken into the master plan under the 74th Amendment. So it is not that the BDA can go and do whatever it wishes to do. In the past, the BDA used to write a master plan which the parastatals never bothered to read. It didn't concern them. It was something written, but not responsible for them to implement. In the new system, they are part of the plan from the onset. So they are part of the GBA, which is the plan authority. So any master plan that comes out this time is also becomes the guiding document for BESCOM, BMTC, BMRCL. They cannot disown it because the plan has come from an institution of which they are a part of, and they have to implement it. So in the past, we had a situation where the master plan used to write something, but the parastatals had no compulsion to follow it. I hope you get. So it is distinctly different. And let's not confuse who will do the master plan exercise, which could be BDA, it's a GBA decision, with who is the local planning authority, which is GBA.
So while, the master plan is going to actually redefine how the city is going to be, what can GBA learn, as you're an urban expert, to include peri-urban and rural locations, such as the 110 villages? There are a couple of residents, they say Domasandra is not a part of it, we don't know where Anikal is and all of that. To actually absorb it into the GBA and the planning system such that the previous year's errors that have been there, right, are not repeated again.
So that's a good question. So even in our first round when we wrote, we had a report on municipalization, outer areas. The reality is, while we have the 5 corporation areas, 721 square kilometers, there's a greater mess on the outskirts beyond that. So in our imagination, and this is well possible that the government will do this in the next phase, the imagination of the GBA is not just a summation of the 5 corporations. Today, we have gone live saying GBA is equal to the 5 corporation area. But nothing prevents the government from saying that the GBA is 1,000 square kilometers, which is, let's say, another 300 square kilometers more than the existing. Beyond 721, existing governance structures will remain, can remain. So, Jilla Parishad, the Panchayat can remain. So, the GBA is actually a multi-governance setup. 5 of them happen to be urban corporations, which are in the GBA. The remaining areas can continue with the existing governance structure, but the GBA remit will run in the context of planning for those areas in the future, for making sure integration and coordination happens. Those things GBA can, in fact, if you want the future of Bangalore to be protected, in my view, the GBA needs to have a footprint of around 1,000 square kilometers earlier rather than later, maybe immediately after these elections are held and this part is done. The thinking really was that if we do a larger GBA area, there's a lot of pressure that everybody becomes part of the corporation. So idea was the corporation that we have got, let's get that done first and then introduce the larger GBA area with a multi-governance setup. It is, without that, Bangalore is doomed. If GBA is not a larger area and restricts itself to 721, it will be very limiting in respect of the future. But that is a government decision to take. From the committee, we are very, very clear that the GBA has a larger footprint and all of GBA does not need to be a corporation. I'm making that distinction so that the idea of municipalization that we had put out was go in and fix the outer areas which have urban characteristics, go and fix them before they become a corporation per se. Inherit into the corporation better outer areas. The problem when we did BBMP, the 110 villages that was integrated in BBMP to this date still have problems. The logic was they will become better, but they have not. You're better off fixing it where they are and then bringing in a better child into the system than to take someone in with huge problems which you can't fix. So that's very important. The point that you mentioned is a valid point, and it's something for the government to think about in the future.
Speaking about this, right, sir, since you were the committee head, right, while it is an issue to 110 villages, if you largely see today, still have sewage lines issue, still have roads issue, and they keep complaining, right, regardless, one, they complain about lack of funds, and then the poor coordination between the agencies that has happened. A very important thing is from a citizen point of view, right, and there are so many of us sitting here, what is it that we can expect as a change with respect to GBA, and what tangible improvements can people see in the fields of waste management, mobility, housing, simple issues that you really think can bring a lot of change? Because we all know what the GBA actually states, and we know how the delimitation has happened. But the citizens still want to know, how are you going to be helping them? With the formation of GBA and the fact that municipal, like 110 villages should be dealt in the same way, not suddenly adopt. It's like, like Ravi just said, you don't want to adopt a teenager and then say I'm going to train him. You can rather get a kid and then try to work on it, right? So on those lines, how do you look at it?
See, all this situation was because there was no lack of coordination, because there was no planning involved, and it was centralized city corporation. Always a centralized unit will have lack of transparency, right? So when you decentralize it, you make it more transparent. That is the principle. And what happens is now we have brought in a system of governance which will coordinate between all the issues. If these are the 7 people who needs to work on the city's development, these 7 people have to come on one platform, which was lacking in the earlier system. We have created this platform, brought in these 7 people. We have made them compulsorily sit and discuss and coordinate amongst yourself. Only act which stipulates timeline. Like the chief minister might be very busy, but once in 3 months, one full day he has to give to Bangalore and call a GBA meeting, which first GBA meeting is in Friday. Earlier we had to, any chief minister, we had to go and request him, boss, give us time for Bangalore. So now, coordination committee at the local level, at the top level, has to be done with time stipulated. 1. 2, coordination amongst all the parastatals we have done. We have brought in a system which will transform Bangalore. I am very sure, because I, as a social, participant in these civic issues, more than a legislator, I understand what are the lacunas in the system, where it has gone bad. We have tried to rectify all that, bring in a system which should work. I am very confident that it will work. In next 1 or 2 years, you will see that there will be competitive development among different corporations. One corporation will do something good, the other corporation will compete with them to make it better. So, and we have made it decentralized. We have made all 7, 8 parastatals come on the platform, be responsible and be transparent in their functioning. So we could bring in an act which has taken care of all these aspects, and today we have to wait as it has taken in shape, the way it will come on the runway and take a flight. I am sure that this will fly.
So competition is the key to make city better, is what you feel. One last question to you, Ravi, is that what mechanism can GBA use to institutionalize citizen involvement without delaying in the decision-making process?
So you see, the citizen inputs and the ward committee is the remit of the corporation. We got to be very clear here that the GBA will not infringe on what are clearly corporation rights. So the corporation rights, the property tax, the income, you can't. So this whole thing at the participation at the local level through ward committees or anything else is the remit of the individual corporations. So the GBA at the apex level cannot be seen to going and doing anything at the corporation level, because corporation is a fully ring-fenced kind of entity under the 74th Amendment. What the GBA can do is really come up with some, it could be volunteering, it could be internship, it could be ideas where a lot of people who wish to get engaged with the system, They can come up with generic ideas on how people can contribute, how they can contribute. Some corporations may decide to run with it. Some corporations may decide to run with it, some others may not do it. The GBA can give those kind of guidelines. And GBA cannot go and say that this is the citizen participation. For example, the GBA cannot say who can be a ward committee member. So that is really the remit of the corporation. So this clarity, the GBA will not impinge on anything which is the corporation's roles and responsibilities under the constitution. That is critical. And that's how it is structured.
No, you're emphasizing seeing the GBA commissioner,
Yeah.
that what you cannot do. That's what he has been.
I just,
Maheshwar Rao has just joined.
no, he might have thought he's becoming a czar. I've told him that
I would
it
like
is
to
czar
add
minus.
I would like to add just one thing. This is the first time we have created ward committees where earlier it used to be number 7, 7 in numbers, the ward committee members. Now we have expanded it to 15. 14. And earlier the corporator used to, select their ward committee members, his relatives, his friends and all that. Now we have made it in a different way, because 7 members out of this 14 will be selected through the draw of lots, right?
Yeah, no, he explained.
So that nobody has the power to manipulate it. Second, another 7 members,
We're waiting for him to come.
another 7 members will come through different categories like Resident Welfare Association, some civic society member, and different, so many women, even from marginalized community, people from marginalized community, all will be coming. So we have a bigger representation. We have a bigger representation to take care, and a fair way we can.
I just owe it to the GBA Chief Commissioner because, he said I diluted his role a bit. Actually, his is a very, very, very powerful role. You see, the GBA will meet once in 3 months. The Executive Committee has to meet once in 2 months. But the office of the GBA, the lights will never get switched off. They can never go to sleep. 24/7, 365 days. They are the ones, the decisions taken at the policy level and agreed to at the Executive Committee to make sure that they all happen on the ground is actually the office of the GBA-CC. To my mind, it's an extremely important function, and it's going to be key. Yeah.
Yes. I think we have come to the conclusion of this whole, discussion where we've learned from integration. Yeah, okay, we can have one question.
Yeah, you have added RWS. Why did you leave trade industry association? That should be part of the GBA.
They are different.
We include trade association.
No, this is the ward committee.
In what committee also? We have got a lot of issues there. So I request you to reserve one representation to trade and industry association, sir.
No, if you are interested to be a ward committee member, for example, from trade association in your particular ward, if you apply, definitely you have a chance to come into that. We have kept it open.
But also in GBA, one representation of trade, sir.
GBA, there is no
There are 75 members.
See, later on, there's an economic development agency. Under that, there will be scope for subcommittees which have trade representation.
I think we
So the
could-
GBA, there is a space.
This event has been concluded. And I think what we've learned is integration, coordination, and better planning is what will help in the city management better. And with the formation of GBA, we hope to look at a lot of development and progress in the city. Hereby concluding it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Please stay back, please stay back. Thank you, panelists, for the enlightening discussion on the political and legislative dimensions of the GBA. Rizwan sir, thank you for taking up the Herculean task of integrating various parastatal agencies under the GBA umbrella. I must mention about the leadership Rizwan sir has taken in ensuring that the service loop road in front of MCC today is a reality. So we immensely thank you for that, and the result has been much, much lesser chaos in the morning. Ravichandra sir, thank you for telling us that GBA has greater seeds of accountability and broader decentralization. Nitya, our own dear alumni, thank you for moderating the session. All the others are there. BMR still, ಇವರಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ BMRCL ಎಂದು ಯಾರಲ್ಲ instead of Karthik. Okay. Right. We move on to the next panel, building synergy. The success of GBA ultimately depends on coordination between multiple agencies, from metro to transport to waste management and traffic. This panel brings together the key decision makers who will make this vision a reality. We have with us today Shri Maheshwar Rao, IAS, Chief Commissioner, Greater Bengaluru Authority. We have Shri Ravi Shankar J, Managing Director, Bengaluru Metro Rail Corporation Limited. He will be joining us very shortly. Shri Kari Gowda, CEO, Bengaluru Solid Waste Management Limited. We have Dr. Anup A. Shetty, DCP Traffic West Division, Bengaluru City Police. We have Shri R.K. Mishra, Urbanist and Director, B. Smile. Shri Harish N, Advocate and Parliamentary Expert. This crucial conversation will be moderated by Srimati Revati Ashok, Honorary Managing Trustee and CEO of BPAC. I request all the panelists to please come on the dais. Can I request Mr. Harish to join as well? He's there.
It's always as I say, when I come to Mount Carmel, it's homecoming. I don't know, many of you know, we are alums. Maya Sharma, who is here,
Ma'am, just a
myself,
second.
we are all alums of this institute.
So
it's always...
Just one more addition. May also request Dr. Rajendra KV, Commissioner, Bengaluru West City Corporation, also to please join the panel.
He was here.
Naresh.
He will join.
Dr. Rajendra KV, Commissioner, Bengaluru West City Corporation, to please join the panel. Also Mr. Naresh Narsimrao, please. Narsimhan.
It's all online.
It's all.
Exactly. Said he messaged me.
So, you can start? Kavya, you can start? Okay. So, good morning everybody. We really have a star cast here. As Kavya has already said, I won't spend much time in any introductions. None of these people require any introductions. But I think We are witnessing a very historic moment. We have heard over the last 1.5 hours of discussion how the GBA is so transformative and what bold decisions have been taken. Of course, there is a lot of stuff which is still work in progress, and I would really, it's great that we have Mr. Maheshwar Rao here with us, who is the GBA Commissioner. It's a very, very big role and encompassing a whole host of issues that the city is facing today. And you can see that the citizens are eagerly waiting and wanting to know and understand how the GBA will function. So now, I just wanted to know, the GBA in its opening lines talks about improving the quality of life of citizens and empowering citizens in self-government. And the GBA Act really wants to facilitate that. So as a start point, I want you to talk a little bit about how you think this GBA will achieve something like this. And your vision of how this GBA will function and how it will get closer to the citizens.
Okay, I can only talk about, I think I am one of the least qualified guys in this panel talking about GBA, because all of them are either worked with the Bangalore City Corporation, its various avatars, BBMP, BMP, etc. in different ways. RK has been constantly having discussions with local bodies. He adds me and then removes me from very lot of groups all the time. But to be frank, now what is it that we are looking at in terms of the GBA? At least what I can see, because I saw it as the BBMP couple of times, and now I'm looking at it as a GBA commissioner. What you found out was originally you had a corporation which had around 198 wards. That is when I joined as a special commissioner. Ravi Shankar has also worked as a special commissioner. Then it increased to 225, and now you kept seeing the major requirement and the problems which you faced. Basically was initially it evolved to an organization which had joint commissioners in the zones. You had chief commissioners at the zones. You had 8 zones. It was a work in progress. A lot of development took place. A lot of infrastructure work also took place. But you always found that there was limited bandwidth available with the commissioner at any point of time to take decisions. You come back again working in 2018, and again you look at it in 2025. The workload has increased, the kind of officers you have has increased, but at the same time, how much you still look at from the public perspective, they only want to talk to either the commissioner at any point of time. So you always have people feeding in and taking, and your response time, the amount of time you can spend on doing work, amount of time you can give for any project actually reduces. So in this context, this I'm talking from the purely administrative perspective. Of course, at the body level, a lot of decisions would have been taken. So what you found out was that with limited bandwidth, you were not able to address issues to a large extent, and you find that citizens typically end up being dissatisfied, that even if you want to escalate an issue, sometimes it would not be getting resolved as quickly as they want, because the Bangalorean citizen is somebody who demands a lot of service or good quality service from the government. So given this context, having a GBA kind of mechanism is one which allows for creation of more corporations. I think the Origin Act itself envisaged around 7. We have settled for something like 5. And you have seen that officers are able to look after or go around addressing core issues which a city faces, which is your quality roads, quality infrastructure, good lighting, good quality water supply, good quality waste management. And this is something which the individual corporations are facing on a day-to-day basis, and they are also able to address in a much faster and a better way. So this is what I think is going to be the biggest change. You bring in this kind of ability by people who are on the ground, able to take decisions quickly and are able to respond quickly and ensure that citizens' issues are resolved, because the number of complaints you get and the number of times are the basis on which it is resolved becomes a very good factor. At the same time, a division of a corporate, of this, such a large city, which is around 1,900, 800 odd square kilometers, now it may be up to, it's going to be divided into 5 corporations. You require to look at how the people live and work, because you end up having some corporations which have larger amount of funds, some corporations which have lesser amount of funds. So there is a requirement therefore for some kind of a coordination and some kind of mechanism to provide funding to these organizations, both which will be done, which can then ensure that these corporations work effectively, because if you do not have funds, you will not be able to take decisions quickly also. So, but at the same time, it gives an opportunity for you to also identify areas where you could generate more resources, unlock potential which did not exist or which you had not done earlier. These are things which you could handle. And this coordination mechanism among corporations and other civic agencies is going to be provided by the Greater Bangalore Authority. We have now got an institutionalized mechanism wherein I can discuss with all the departments which work in and around Bangalore as a commissioner. Then you report it to the Greater Bangalore Authority and the executive committee, which looks after 2 things. One, how do you look at the action plans made by each agency? How do you ensure you create a mechanism by which if one agency does work, it does not impinge on the other work of the other agency. Otherwise, all of it was being done in an ad hoc manner. You have got now a structured mechanism by which this happens, and on a regular basis you can discuss with all the agencies concerned with the authority under law to get them to come together to come up with common ways by which, or common path by which you can go about taking up further works, further development works it may be, and it could also be with regard to policy. In the policy making sphere also, the Greater Bangalore Authority does a lot of work. It will do a lot of studies. It will be able to come up with the model bylaws which can then be adopted by the individual corporations. So the idea is your day-to-day work, which also takes a huge amount of time, huge amount of effort, and it is important that this is done in an efficient way. You have the corporations which look after it. Then you can also ideate with them and for them, work with them and come up with ideas which will take the city forward. Because visioning of the city, how to make it, how you can, and I'll come to that in just 2 minutes, just give me 2 more minutes and then I'll close. Visioning of where the city will go, how it is going to take care of the increasing population, what is the development plan within which it should go, and how it can be implemented. Now it has become local because a lot of committees kept saying that the role of planning for the city corporation also should be done by the city. So therefore, the Greater Bangalore Authority now looks at how it can do the visioning and planning for the city, and this is going to be a huge exercise. Given the growth rates which we have witnessed in the city and the way in which you are looking at the growth rate, overall growth rate in the country as a whole, you are looking at how you can accommodate a population which would be at least 75% of the population which you are having now. How are you going to plan for infrastructure? How are you going to plan for development? How are you going to plan for movement? How are you going to plan for workspaces? These are areas these are areas which require to be discussed, and the Greater Bangalore Authority creates sectoral experts. It allows for a mechanism by which we draw in from civic society, we draw in from experts and allow them to sit and plan in such a way or ideate in such a way that you can take action or at least give a way forward on various areas. That is my idea, and I think this is something which will evolves as it grows over the time. Thank you.
Just a sec, ma'am. May I now request Shri G.T. Prabhakar Reddy, Chief Traffic Manager, BMTC, to please join the panel.
So, one of the questions I have is, you spoke about coordination between agencies. This is a bane for citizens today, that a road which has been freshly laid, next day the BWSSB comes and digs it up. And famously, Srinivas said, BBMP is never the one which is digging up the roads. It's somebody else digging up the roads, but BBMP is getting all the blame. So in this new GBA dispensation, how will this get resolved? I think it's not just about a GBA or a BBMP, it's also about technology, and technology allowing people to know what is happening in that area interdepartmentally, and just simply preventing somebody from executing any jobs on ground if something fresh has been done. So do you have any thoughts on how this issue can be resolved?
I think, okay, thank you. I think we should take feedback from the others first before I say anything. So we'll just wait for feedback on this. I'm sure this would be items on which Naresh or RK will speak. I'll speak after that if it would be okay.
No, I want to ask you.
But I will tell you, yes, I mean, we got a point. The idea is this institutionalized mechanism is important, and it is not just that, I mean, all of us should realize that BWSB does not want to dig roads just because we have laid new roads, right? It's a problem of an overall planning for the city, and I think it has to be looked at in a holistic manner. There are issues of transportation, there are issues of infrastructure, there are issues of trunk infrastructure, and this does require to be looked at in a holistic perspective before we can sort out these issues at the field level, because just by, like you said, banning will not solve the problem. Banning will only push it under the carpet for a few months, but it will not do anything else. So we'll have to come up with a better solution. I think this kind of a forum in a GBA, I think, would provide a better platform for us to resolve issues and look at it in the longer term also.
I think everybody here will agree that the biggest issues that the city faces today are two big ones: mobility and solid waste management. When we look at these two, at least in the GBA, there is a separate chapter dedicated to solid waste management. There is no chapter dedicated to mobility. It gives me an impression that while the powers that be understand that mobility is an issue, it is never looked at as a service. It is looked at as infrastructure. There is a section for infrastructure. There is a section for streets. There is a section for, but there is no section for mobility. There is a section for social justice. There is a section for poverty alleviation. There is a section for health and education. So why isn't mobility, if you look at Schedule 1, mobility doesn't figure. If you look at essential services, mobility doesn't figure. But that is the biggest economic equalizer for the city. And why is it not being given any prominence as a separate chapter? And BMLTA is not even mentioned anywhere as part of this whole system. So I know you're not the architect, but understanding that improvement of quality of life for the citizens can happen only if we seriously address mobility as one and waste management as another. These are really top of mind issues for citizens. How will you be able to do it in the current construct?
I think Ravi Shankar is here from Metro. I think he is going to be the new champion of transit-oriented development and mobility around this place in Bangalore, given that Metro plays a key role in transporting a large population along with BMTs. I think Prabhakar Reddy and Ravi will be the best persons to talk about it. But like you said, there are 3-4 issues on mobility which we require to tackle, and if it's not put, even if it's not put in the Act, it will be an area of focus. We have to, I mean, it will be an area of focus. We have to really look into this. I joined BBMP, and my first idea was to see what is the quality, how do people move, where is it that people move, and can we just look at how we can improve the way in which people move. The idea was there, so we decided to take a few places, walk around the city in many locations, and we found out that this is one area for one is pedestrians, it may be for persons who would like to go in for walking and use public transport. The city is not still built around this, and this is one area where if we focus on and we can tackle a problem which maybe 60% or 70% of the citizens of the city face, and that would be one area of focus which we will take it up in the agenda of the GBA over the next in the coming months, to see how we can get active mobility, transitory, I would say transitory development as much as movement of people, if we can really improve it, because everyone talks about traffic in Bangalore, everyone talks about how it takes a toll on both physical, mental and financial impacts it will have, what toll it takes to everybody. And there is some way, and how do we ameliorate it? A lot of people think that the metro and public transport would be the major areas which will really transform it. And I think this is an ongoing conversation we will have with these two agencies.
If I may interject, sir, this metro, it's a legacy I've inherited from you, sir. So, remember that.
So, really to stay for just 1 minute on that point of mobility, I think it's very, very important to realize that it is a great equalizer and it requires to be looked at not just as provision of infrastructure. We often mistake mobility as I provided roads. But if you provide the roads and don't simultaneously invest in the buses, it is flooded with cars. So I think if we don't look at it as mobility, we will only look at it as infrastructure. And I just want to leave that point here because we have so much to cover. The other important point, and I'm sorry I'm taking a lot of questions up front because I thought I should finish with the GBA part before I get everybody involved. There is a lot of criticism about the GBA saying it is centralizing many things and decentralizing very little by making the corporations almost toothless. I'm just quoting citizens as they have expressed a lot of anguish. And why do I say that? We have heard that people feel, now what are the corporators going to do? Are they just going to be maintaining parks and Anganwadis? Because all major projects are going to be done by a separate organization. All major roads will be done by a separate organization. So there is B-Smile, which is separate. There is BSWML, which is again separate. And I'll come to Mr. Karigowda later. But when you remove these major aspects out, are we centralizing or decentralizing? Or how is this tension between the two going to work so that people still feel that they are empowered, at the same time things that need to be done pan-India, pan-Bangalore can still be done?
See, I think you have 790 kilometers of square kilometers of the city, and it has been divided into 5 corporations. The idea is more nimble corporations, the faster it responds to the citizens, the better they make them feel and the better they will be able to provide basic requirements for the city. Now, you cannot ask somebody who, I mean, when you are handling this kind of issue for such a large number of citizens, you also require some mechanism by which you take up large infrastructure projects. Now you cannot be doing both at the same time so you have evolved mechanisms like creating road infrastructure division in the BBMP, etc. The idea was, can you come up with a better, more focused and efficient agency which will only look at taking up key infrastructure projects. The Bangalore Metro is one of the biggest examples of some agency which has done huge infrastructure projects, maybe not as efficiently as a lot of people would say. It could have been done in, like, say, compared to other cities, but I think other than maybe the Delhi Metro, Bangalore Metro would be one of the best agencies to say in terms of speed and quality of execution. Now, given this aspect, the idea would be to create this kind of an SPV which will take up only infrastructure projects which are going to be slightly longer term and which require to have dedicated funds and proper focus. Which is why some of these projects with the approval of corporations will be taken up in future. But otherwise, please be rest assured, the basic requirements of the city, which includes good quality roads, good quality stormwater drainages, good quality lighting, and response to the citizens on major issues. And if you look at any of the queries which come in our Sahaya app, most of them are only this: implementation of building bylaws, implementation of approvals of buildings. All of these are going to be done by the city corporation only. This is what affects the citizen on a day-to-day basis. So if this can be taken care of, then the city corporations are completely independent in taking these decisions. It's only in those kind of issues which cut across corporations which you can see that that is what has been one of the big ideas which had come up when you looked at both when the rule makers looked at making this law. I'm sure that they had looked at what was happening in the rest of the country. When Delhi went in for smaller corporations and then again remerged it, when they looked at other city corporations, looked at other urban agglomerations and found out that for each of these larger city agglomerations, you do require one cross-cutting agency which will provide the basic infrastructure without being disturbed or distracted by looking at day-to-day infrastructure issues which are affecting the individual corporations. So that is my perspective or my assumption that this is what was happening, and I'm sure that this is going to be in future. And I think before we make any, before we condemn it, I think we require to look at how this mechanism is going to work and how quickly and how efficiently it provides this kind of service.
Arki, you had a point on major
I think
projects.
this is very important point, and specifically because I think citizens as well as, more importantly, I think this is coming from people who are potentially aspiring to be the corporators, as well as I think non-governmental organization, civic leadership, and of course activists. See, this idea that we have divided the corporation into 5, many discussions going on, is a political reason or whatever it is. But I think fundamentally what we should understand is the governance is the fundamental issue here. Along with the governance is the competence. And for example, what is the justification of having BESCOM, BWSSB and all that? Because those are specialized services. Water supply is a very specialized service in which a corporator can make sure that somebody is opening the valve in his area, but beyond that, it requires a lot of engineering and competence. And I think same is the issue. And so, for example, Metro Corporation, Bangalore Metro was made a separate company, and because separate expertise, separate management is required. People do not realize that roads are also very complicated, affairs. Major roads. Now we are talking about, I don't want to go into specific. I think our quality of infrastructure which BBMP has produced over the years, compared with the other parts of the city, country, I think a lot is desired, and it is not because of maybe lack of interest, but also BBMP does not have its own designated engineering cadre. Competence issues are there. The quality of contractors we are able to attract is an issue. So unless we create a specialized agency, which is like B-Smile, they are mega infrastructure. Look at how Mumbai is doing. People just see the kind of undersea tunnels, oversee the cable stayed bridges and things like that. If we do not create infrastructure like that, the Bangalore as a global city is not going to either survive or flourish. So having a specialized agency doing something which is so important, it is so complicated, I think is a right decision. It has to be taken in this spirit. Of course, democracy survives and thrives through our structure of corporations, through the corporators, and the decision making which happens at that level essentially is going to continue the way it was. Thus, essentially, because there is a little bit of a confusion why this was separated. This was separated for the good of the city. In a current form, BBMP was not in a position to be able to tackle such large infrastructure projects which this city desperately needs.
So I'll come next to Mr. Karigowda. Again, as we said in my opening statement, the biggest issue that the citizens are facing is mobility and waste management. BSWML was formed and we thought things will improve. I think with no elections, no cooperators, the city has descended to absolute chaos in terms of whatever progress we had made in the last several years. Over the last few years, 5 years, it has descended into chaos as far as waste management is concerned. What is it that you plus the GBA put together can do differently to make the citizens confident that this issue can be resolved. Even places like Bombay, you don't see garbage lying on the streets like it is lying today. You don't see debris lying everywhere, right across. It seems to be like it is the right of every person to just throw things on the footpath or in the median or right in the middle of the road with absolute impunity.
Before I answer your question, I need to know from the audience here, how many of you segregate wet and dry waste separately in your house?
This is you're preaching to the converted.
You're preaching to the converted.
Preaching to the converted.
Okay, nice. Okay, thank you. How many of you not thrown garbage? Okay, nice. If not 100%, 80% of Bengalurians cooperate like you, there won't be any garbage issue in Bangalore. Only GBR, BSWML. We need the participation, cooperation of public. Unfortunately, in my area where I stay, every day auto tipper comes and collects garbage from each and every household. You come, I'll show you. By immediately after 2 or 3 hours, there will be a black spot at the end of the road. Unless we change, we cannot solve the problem of garbage issue in Bangalore. Since 1 week, with the approval of our Chief Commissioner, we have given some 35 tractors to all divisions, all wards. In last 1 week, we have collected more than 1,000 beds, sofas and cots lying on roads. 1,000 beds. Today I called a meeting, afternoon 3 o'clock, I called a meeting of all recyclers in Bangalore. We have planned to collect all unwanted material from each household once in a week. Probably we'll start that initiative from 26th of this month. Before that, now we have developed an app, we are yet to launch it. So we will release that app. Any citizen in Bengaluru can send information in that app, what are the unwanted things like sofa, bed, cot, textile or books, anything. We will collect once in a week. We have planned to collect it on Sunday, so as of now. So without the support of you people, I cannot say, Bengaluru will not become garbage free.
So, I would just like to just supplement his point. Yesterday I got in, there was a meeting I had to run for and I got delayed by 15 minutes because I got into, suddenly out of the blue I see one nice car, one driver gets out, takes a bag of garbage and throws it on the road. Just, that's it. 15 minutes I said, I'm going to fine you and we will do this, etc. You frightened them, they said, okay, we will not repeat it. Now, 2 issues came up. 1, knowledge. 2, inclination. Now, inclination, because they saw some place which was dirty, they decided to throw it there. 2, lot of people do not know that you're not supposed to throw it in public places. They still go ahead because a lot of, people who are either working as household help or others, they find it the most convenient. 3rd, you find a lot of people who are in slum areas where they are going to throw this garbage or they do not want to do it and they just dispose it off. We will have to come up with specialized solutions. 4th is we may have to create some capability within our side, which is what Mr. Karigoda is doing, is to ensure that some things which we can recycle, where people do not know where to throw, where they have to dispose of, that is something which we should create a facility. So in this case, I would request him also that you should come up with some mechanism by which at least you can do it. Of course, strong disincentive of fining is there, but that I don't think is the only solution.
I think this is
small thing I want to add here. I've grown up in this city. Earlier we used to have this concept of neighborhood bins, which didn't work, but what happened was when the population was less, it used to be called cement totti. It will be there in every neighborhood and throughout the day people used to go and throw unsegregated garbage. worldwide, and I've studied many countries how they handle it, it is always a combination of what you are doing and a physical bin. If I miss the truck in that morning, I will not wait the whole day till next morning. I want that garbage out of my house. Suppose I sleep late and I don't, that truck nice song comes early morning, that's what wakes me up. ಇವತ್ತು ಪರಿಸರ ಸಮ್ ಹಾಡು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಬಟ್ ಅದು 7 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು 7 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಮಲಗಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ 8 ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇವರೆಗೂ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಐ ಅಗ್ರಿ that you will capture 60-70% of the waste of a city using that system. Internationally, what they do is there is a system. Madam, there is one startup in Pune, one pilot has already started there. What they do is they dig these huge pits in the ground, which are about 15 feet deep, 10 to 15 feet deep. The receptacle to throw the garbage is only 3 feet up, 2 feet above the ground level. And you have 3 receptacles. It's glass and paper, organic and other inorganic waste, which has a receptacle which you can throw. Bulk waste is removed, like you said, only once a week on a special request. But day to day, I would request the GBA, or at least at an individual corporation, do a pilot to reintroduce the modern 20th century app-connected local neighborhood recycling bin. Put it back. That is the only way to fix this. Otherwise, people in my K100 drain, because people start throwing garbage in the K100 drain, and I say it's my drain because I know it intimately, right? So what happens is that everybody there is understood that the value of real estate in that next to the drain has gone from 3,000 rupees a square foot to 10,000 rupees a square foot in 2 years. And just because they have understood the link between neighborhood cleanliness and real estate value. You don't have to appeal to people's better nature. Real estate value is good enough. The locals have stopped throwing any garbage into the drain at all. But people from other neighborhoods, like Chief Commissioner has pointed out, they come in a scooter with the plastic bag between their feet. When they're crossing the bridge, they throw it into the drain. This behavior will not stop unless they have a neighborhood bin near their home. Please consider reintroducing not the totti, but the modern garbage system, what you see abroad everywhere. It's a combination of standing bins as well as underground.
This is the big problem, of course, is this MSW rules talks about only segregation. Yes. Household segregation, and then you take it to the collection yard. So the end result is you are seeing garbage on road. I think we will have to revisit it in some form and look at whether this will be something which can work. But of course, we looked at, I think what Mr. Karigoda did not talk about is, we are coming up with some plan for integrated solid waste management solution, which may also be the way ahead, and which we should hope to implement
Mr.
very
Khan,
quickly.
who was there before you, had actually done a prototype in Austin town. I suggest you look at it again.
So, no, sir, I'll tell you. We have issued order for some 70 CASA kiosks. It will reintroduce in another 60 days and 2 months.
Fantastic.
So while we are doing this, I think this is a welcome point, because one of things, and I have messaged Mr. Maheshwar Rao several times saying there is a sofa set here, there is a commode here. People just don't know what to do with what they have. And you cannot expect them to transport it right across the city. Nobody will pay for that because it's small quantity. I think the same has to be done with debris also, not big construction debris, but small renovation debris which is there in the houses. There should be something on call so that people can call for it and have this managed.
Madam, as I mentioned earlier, I will include debris in that app also. We will collect.
Great. I'll come to Dr. Anup now. I want to talk about, recently the city has been in the news that we have some of the biggest rates of accidents in the city. And we at BPAC have done projects on saving lives, and we have looked at various areas where through scientifically designed interventions with BTP and with BBMP and others and urban planners, we can have traffic calming measures. It's not just putting an unscientific hump just because some resident asks for a hump. We just go and put a hump. And we don't know what happens. Today there is a hump right down the Bengaluru flyover because somebody said that is the best thing. That's the worst thing that can be done. In fact, I pleaded with, at that time, the BBMP, please don't do it. You're hurtling down the flyover and there is a hump without a traffic calming measure. So these are all scientific things. Just because somebody put pressure and suddenly you put a hump, that's a recipe for disaster. So any thoughts that you have that we can work, and how will GBA help? One of the biggest problems at that time, Mr. Anuchet and co had told us, it's very difficult to have interdepartmental coordination because the data regarding accidents is with BTP. However, the issues to be resolved are by the BBMP. BTP is merely the conveyor of information that these are black spots, accident black spots. So how can these two be reconciled? So people can really feel safe when they are walking in the city, crossing the road, or whatever, traveling in their vehicles, etc.
Thank you. First of all, after GBA, we have two levels of interaction. One at division level, we interact with commissioners directly for smaller issues and local execution part. And for broader issues, Joint CP Office and TMC interact with GBA. And for as far as road safety is concerned, since we have a good reach in Bangalore city, every constable and every patrolling team, they reach every road and every area. So we have a lot of data that we share with GBA. For example, potholes and where the bottlenecks, and there is some modification required in road. So all these information is regularly shared with GBA, and regarding accident spots, the black spots are identified, and joint team they inspect black spots and recommend the modifications which are required, and these things are continuously these are being done. And if you see, these accidents have come down in CBD area, and they are if you analyze, they are more towards outskirts, and even more in new areas which are recently added to Bangalore City Police. For example, these Badralli area, Kamakshipalya, Badralli area, Kengeri. So all these areas, they are witnessing more fatal accidents recently, and we have identified those spots. And as you told, every it's a trend and local pressure also. Many times, any accident happens, the public will come and say "Liham Pakspeku." So that's a common thing. So we are discouraging that. But after analysis, if some modification is required, that is being discussed with GBA, and we are taking up that.
Revati, I just want to give two suggestions to this issue on your mobility action plan, which the present plan, whatever mobility action plan is there, is probably unscientific, unsustainable, and unachievable, according to me. With some areas it may be working properly. Really, I have two. One suggestion is, you see, the accidents are due to reckless driving, youngsters more involved in being. I have a suggestion. See, if you look at the driving population of Bangalore city, the number of vehicles are more than the actual driving population if you take from 18 years and above. The vehicle population is more than the Bangalore city population. The youth who are involved in if you put the cameras are in 450 junctions in Bangalore city, which are being AI monitored. But there was a camera which was near SSMRV Degree College at the corner itself, near Taja Tindi. They have removed it and put it opposite to Taja Tindi. See, all reckless driving, all these things was being captured. People used to be alert at that time. We are saying you should issue a direction in coordination with the PUC board, that the PUC board will issue a direction to the colleges that they will not allow any of the +2 students to come in two-wheelers to their thing. They give an undertaking, how they give in an anti-ragging cell undertaking. So that will probably mitigate a lot of accidents and reckless driving near the colleges. Without helmet, they do triple riding. This is common. You can check all the colleges in Bangalore, this happens. The other one is in the GBA. We talked about the BMLTA the other time. BMLTA was passed in 2023, which is supposed to be a similar parallel body to GBA as far as the Metropolitan Land Transport Authority is concerned. See, you have BMTC, BMRCL as part of the GBA, whereas BMLTA is shown as to be an invitee without an voting right in the GBA. Okay, if you look at the act, you will get it. What I am saying is, the actual authority which is passed 3 years ago was not set up at all. If that has been set up, it would cover BMTC, BMRC, all surface transport in the city of Bangalore would have been coordinated by the BMLTA authority. You need to set up this on an urgent war footing so that BMLTA will have its voting right in the GBA, as well as they will be able to coordinate with all the surface transport authority stakeholders in the city of Bangalore, which in the present GBA text it is not there. It's only BMTC which is covered. And you have a fund here, and you have Director of Urban Land Transport as an authority in the GBA. Okay? And under the finance section, you have an Urban Land Transport Fund. Okay, whereas the BMLTA has no say in all these matters at all. So the authority which was actually envisioned by the government with the support of all parties at that point of time, okay, that has not been put in place. BMLTA will do a wonderful job by coordinating with all the surface land transport operators in the city of Bangalore. Then you will have better mobility action plan. And we are even the active mobility bill, which we have been trying to push through, also needs to be put in place. I think these are things which will definitely make your mobility action plan more sustainable and scientific and achievable. Thank you.
We welcome Honorable DCM who has come here, and we will just take a pause here for this session. We would invite Honorable DCM onto the stage and Maya for the conversation, and we will return for the session after DCM's address. Thank you, sir.
(741 square kilometers of Bengaluru city divided into 5 corporations. GBA as a mechanism is paramount. Now we move on to perhaps the most anticipated session of the morning. Bengaluru's transformation requires not just structural reform but visionary leadership. How will GBA translate into tangible improvements in our daily lives? It's my great honor to invite Shri D.K. Shivakumar, Deputy Chief Minister and Bengaluru Development Minister, Government of Karnataka, to address us on the transformative vision for Bengaluru with Greater Bengaluru Authority. Following his address, we'll have a moderated conversation with Srimati Maya Sharma, Senior Independent Journalist. Sir, over to you, sir.
So, welcome everybody. It's so great to see all of you here today. And we are all here really because we love Bengaluru. We may hide it behind complaints about traffic and garbage and potholes. And we may hide that love, but that love is there. We care, we want it to be better. It's a long-term relationship with all its ups and downs. For me, it's a long-term relationship. I was in college here, and I've seen the city change over the years. Many, many challenges, partly because the city is one of the fastest growing in the world, if not the fastest growing in the world. Lots of challenges that need to be addressed. The Greater Bengaluru Authority is an attempt to try and address these challenges. We want to, I think, to paraphrase somebody on the other side of the world, we want to make Bengaluru great again. So certainly, we hope this is a step in the right direction. We hope it's more than just rebranding. And we're very happy to have the man of the moment, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, with us today. Sir, the very first question. Bengaluru has been a challenge city for a long time, many decades, whatever the political leadership was. Why now? Why did you feel this was the right time to introduce the GBA? Was there a tipping point? Was there anything in particular? What reason to do it now?
You want me here or you want me there?
Here, I think, would be more. Here would be easier.
Good morning to all of you. Good morning. So you didn't alert me when I said you good evening. So I'm just checking about you whether you are conscious or not. Anyway, first I would like to thank BPAC for organizing this. Young minds, experienced minds, different minds join together to give a new directions to all of us. I would like to thank again the Mount Carmel College and the management and the students for having given this opportunity for all my officers to explain to you what they are doing for the growth of Bangalore. I've been here, where I think very long, 40 years back. I remember I entered this campus. After that, I didn't have an opportunity to enter this campus when I was a student leader. Now I'm 60 plus. Age of like some of your father. Anyway, see, we all are citizens. Urbanization is a big challenge for any country, any city. Why people come to Bangalore? For two things. For education, for employment, for better living. They have their own desire that they should fulfill various obligations of their personal life and family life. So the population of any city grows. See, I came to Bangalore. I am from a rural Bangalore, South Bangalore. Now it is called the South Bangalore. I am from a village called Dodalali. My parents wanted me to have a better education. I studied in in a small for 5-6 months in one school in my village, government school. Then I came to St. Rita's School in Kanakpura. Then I came to, my parents wanted me to be a good, have a quality education. They shifted me to Bangalore. Then I came to NPS school. After NPS school, Dr. Gopal Krishna threw out of the school. Then I was there for Commerce School in Rajajinagar for 2 years. Then he did not admit me to the, he assured me that you give admission in NPS again, but he did not admit. So I had to be in Vidyavadaka. Then like all started. After I came to Bangalore for education, I never went back to my village. This is the story of every individual. Because Bangalore or any city, especially Bangalore, where we are discussing, it is a very strong base on quality education. It can challenge any city of this country. It has a very big history. not from today. The quality of primary education, either or even engineering or medical or whatever this, today we have 10,100 students in this campus. All the students here, they have their own vision, the parents have their own vision, and minimum 30 to 40% of them have exceed in whatever profession they have taken. This is the story of Bangalore. 25 lakh IT professionals are working in Bangalore. 2 lakh foreigners have their passports and working here in Bangalore. I was a urban development minister at the time of S.M. Krishna. The population was 70 lakhs. Now it is 1.4 crores. Mr. Kengal Hanumantaya was the former chief minister who built Vidhan Sauda. He was the CMC, that was the city, not the corporation then. He was the president of the corporation. Like that in India, Jawaharlal Nehru was the president of Allahabad Municipal Corporation. Rajgopalachari was there. B.D. Jatti being a panchayat member, president, he became the vice president and the president of this one. Vilasrao Deshmukh, also being a panchayat member, he became the chief minister for a very long time. Stalin was the mayor of Chennai. He has become the chief minister of this India. Subhash Chandra Bose was the commissioner of Calcutta Municipal Corporation. This urbanization and urbanization leadership is very strong. Today, Bangalore Corporation turned into a BBMP, Bangalore Corporation. Now I have decided to have this as a GBA. We had formed a committee, the advisor, because managing this Bangalore city is not a small job. People have a lot of expectation here. The biggest problem to Bangalore is the mobility, solid waste management, and lot of drinking water. You can't, Bangalore is not a planned city. Though Kempegowda built it at that point of time, looking at all sections of the society, giving an opportunity to all sections of businessmen, doing it in a different framework. The water, the culture, what is here, it is nowhere in this country. I don't want to discuss on different other platforms. So all the international people are looking at Bangalore for various aspects. Why Indian Institute was started in Bangalore? Why HAL was started in Bangalore? Why ITS was started in Bangalore? Why BEML was started in Bangalore? There are more than 270 engineering colleges in Karnataka. 70 medical colleges are in Karnataka. More than 1,400 nursing colleges are in Karnataka. This is the greatest human resources what you have got. Even 10,000 students coming out of this college, where do they go? Only 10 or 15% of them will become the housewives. All of them need a place. Or some of them wanted to become lawyers, some of them wanted to be businessmen, some of them wanted to be in the marketing, self-employed, create more employment. All these things are there. So their aspirations or desires are very too much. So I thought that we should give a effective governance. The reason for making this GBA is for a better governance, effective delivery, and see that there is a coordination. Every common citizen should have a voice. He should know what he has to contribute to Bangalore, what corporation has to contribute back to the citizen. This is very much important. Until both of us work together, both of us join together, until citizens cooperate with the corporation or the government, we are not permanent here. I will not be a permanent head of the Bangalore corporation or being a minister. I'll be we are the policy makers. But whatever policy we make, that will be the guideline factor of this one. When we make a policy, we never take decisions independently. We discuss with stakeholders, we discuss with lawmakers, we discuss with bureaucrats, then we come to a conclusion what is there. So Bangalore was a very big, it was 198 watts, one corporation commissioner. If whatever I wanted to ask, I had to speak to one corporation commissioner. It was difficult to manage. The population has been increased. 1,27 crore vehicles are there in Bangalore. 1,27 crore. We can't widen the roads. All the property values have become so high, they have built it, no one is ready to give their property. What is the next option on the mobility? It is only the government, whatever we have this metro, whatever we have these buses, whatever over the public transport. Apart from that, everyone doesn't want to use a government transport. They wanted to be happy, they wanted to have their wives with, adjusted to them, they wanted to have children adjusted to buy, they want to buy a vehicle, they have the capacity to buy a vehicle. It is very difficult. But now still we have to sort out their problem. Next is the garbage issue. The garbage issue. It is not a small issue, garbage issue. There are a lot of problems. No one wants garbage in their houses or next to their houses, next to their factory. No one will give. There are a lot of, we have given, I was a power minister. I gave 15 places to make a garbage converted into a power sector. None of them could succeed. All of them we have failed. How to come back? All these big challenges are there. So there are a lot of issues connected to that. So ultimately I decided, first we should give a good governance. Let us make a division, make a policy. This is more than 1.4. I am forcing next 10-15 years. This will touch more than 2 crores. 2 crores Bangalore population is there. We have to add, electronic city itself is not added here. After the ITPL, YTPL is not added here. International airport is not added in Bangalore. But still the entire population is there. 70 lakh people come from other parts of the country and the state to Bangalore every day. How to address these issues? How to sort out the traffic problem? Because even in London, 3 hours they have to travel. If they doesn't go to the public transport, if they are in the car, 3 hours. Even in Delhi, 1.5 hours from the airport to the parliament, you need 1.5 hours to travel. But Bangalore is making more noise than Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, or whatever they say, because we are very free to all the friends, and our social media is picking up. Next has come the artificial intelligence and the social media. We are not curbing, but as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, as far as Andhra is concerned, as far as other state is concerned, the media is not allowed to work freely how Karnataka has been open to them. We accept the criticism.
I will vouch for that. Karnataka politicians across parties are very different. They're very approachable, which is very different from what happens in other states.
Okay. Now, so that is why we decided first for the governance, 5 corporation, we are making about 369 wards. We want all of them to involve with that, have their own decisions, keep their area clean, make it a small this one, then take decisions, because cleanliness is very much important, mobility is important. So have taken very large programs. I'll come back on that. You start with your questions, then I will answer on those things.
You've given us a lot of food for thought already. You've spoken about the growth, the challenges of growth, the need to find good living standards for the wonderful minds who are living here and who are coming here. One of the biggest issues which you mentioned yourself is coordination between different agencies. We've all talked about it before, that beautiful road laid outside our house, the next day is dug across. Saplings planted when trees are brought down, and then the road is widened again and the saplings are removed again. This coordination between the many agencies, many of whom are represented here, the GBA, the Act does mention that there will be this coordination. How will this actually happen? How will it actually be ensured that coordination does happen?
See, We want a greener Bangalore. We want it to be clean. Today in every houses, when I came to Bangalore, I just had a motorcycle. When I started my education, now I have 6 vehicles in my vehicle. Same place. How to? Every children need a vehicle. Wife need, myself need, all the children need the vehicle. You can't expand a place. You can't expand the roads. All the vehicles are placing in the road itself. Earlier this was been a garden city. Bangalore was being called a garden city with good parks and lot of things. Lot of encroachments have started. Good lakes were there. We have to keep the environment clean. There are citizens, 30% of the citizens would want Bangalore to have a different on the international map. Definitely Bangalore is on the international map in some days. But some people are not educated, illiterate. They doesn't respect the law. If they respect the law, if they know what is governance, if they what is their responsibility, you see, I think the traffic inspector someone is here, the commissioner, joint commissioner is here. They take the garbage, keep it, they will look at the side, this side. If no one is watching, they just throw it on the road and they go. What can a government do? Until if they doesn't have a civic sense, it is very much important. After going out of Bangalore, you see, border of Kanakpura, border of Nirmangala, border road of whichever there, you see huge and huge of garbages.
Garbage everywhere.
Garbages are there. It is highly difficult. As soon as I came, I just asked the police commissioner to just give a notice to all the vehicles who are doing all these things. I am telling you from past 2.5 years, I am doing sky to earth. Courts are not allowing us. Lot of big mafia is going on in this garbage.
The garbage mafia, they're not taking it to the designated
not
dumping
taking.
grounds.
They are not allowing us to do on a what the model of whatever the tendering process. Illegally transportation they want to do. They wanted to illegal bills.
Okay.
Lot of big mafia is going on. Even courts, PLs are being there. Even the BJP government were not successful. I am also not successful as on today. But still government courts are just trying to protect this.
It's a very strong admission of the difficulty in managing this, because honestly speaking, corruption is a huge issue. It has been a huge issue in the earlier body, in the BBMP, and many times corruption. Many times, even when work is done, you know it is substandard work. Within a day or two, the road starts falling apart, and substandard work is passed by sometimes by the engineers who are meant to approve its quality. How will we tackle corruption in the GBA? What difference will there be?
See, that is why we have come out with lot of things. For example, someone want to build a house. He has to go to the corporation. Some local engineer, some revenue inspector, they harass. That is why I brought out a new policy called Nambike Nakshe.
Okay.
With a empaneled architect or engineers. They did not come to the corporation office. They should give, they can apply on online. Within 50-80, they will get the corporation.
So the reduction of bribery at the corporation.
Number 2,
okay.
we brought a self-assessment scheme for the tax. Earlier when Krishnaji was there, when I was the UD minister, we started in this Batra and Pura range. We allowed them to declare themselves what is their area.
Okay.
Only 10% are genuine and loyal and legal. All the 90% I have adjusted with the local officers. Officers also encouraging that. They want to pay lesser tax. If they have built 10,000, 5,000, 2,000 square feet, 5,000 square feet, they declare that they have built only 2,000. How this is possible? That is why now a big survey is being conducted. Now all of them have to declare. A big transparency mode is going. We are measuring anything. We have a lot of methodology. Now see, I went to Mumbai, Delhi with my officers, 15 officers were there. including my commissioners and everyone. Entire Mumbai, Delhi is, the tax collection is only 2,000 crores. As far as Bangalore, after we took our initiative, our tax collection has reached 6 to 7,000 crores. For Delhi, the central government and the state government is helping Delhi Corporation. Though Delhi is there, you are only looking at the New Delhi where it is there, but the outer part of Delhi is different. Capital region. I just now all of them are crying on potholes. I have a house in Delhi. In my house, only within 100 meters, I could find, I counted it. I have 70 potholes within 100 meters in Delhi. But no news comes out of Delhi. No news comes out of Chennai. No news comes out of other place. Only Bangalore, because we allow them, lot of people from all over the country and the world are coming here. They comment, they tweet, they make children to cry, and some fellow threatened us that he will go back. Before he be with it, because his earning is coming and doing business here. Because the talent hub is too high. You remember, I think one day you also were there in the media, in the national media that day, when Atal Bihari Vajpayee came to Bangalore for laying the foundation of this airport. I think you were there on Vidhan Soudha at Krishna time. What Atal Bihari Vajpayee said, what recently Prime Minister this metro side, the world leaders, one day they used to come to Chennai, Delhi, then they used to go to Chennai, they used to go to Bengaluru, they used to go to Mumbai. The situation has changed. The same world leaders are first coming to Bangalore, then they are going to Delhi. That is what Atal Bihari Vajpayee said. Why? You have a talent pool here, you have a weather here, you have a culture here, you have a human resources here. Everything is there. But we have to protect all of them. The quality of education, what is in Bangalore, can't be matched. I think some of the universities, they were trying to go, and my students used to go to London, America, Australia. Now the situation has changed. Now they feel that yes, this is also an important place. Pune is an important place. Bangalore is an important place. All of them from the entire country, they are coming back to Bangalore, having a good education. So they look at a better life in Bangalore, other part of Bangalore. You see the brewery. The number of breweries in Bangalore,
yes,
you know?
Yes.
Nowhere in the world.
The young students don't know, of course, but the rest do, yes.
Why so much breweries have come? Huh? It is a vibrant city.
They have no idea. The young ones have no idea.
Whether it is not out there. Huh?
There's clearly a lot of sensitivity among all the elected leaders when it comes to criticism. I can understand that. It's almost taken personally when people talk about potholes. And as you were saying, Bangalore is not the pothole capital of India. All cities do have their problems.
See, Maya, I welcome criticism. We should welcome politicians. We should not be afraid. We should allow their voice.
Yes.
Let them criticize.
Yes.
Let them comment on them. Then only we will rectify our mistakes.
Because
I don't want. See, because, see, you represent media, though you are from this institution, you know the entire country. Anyone in this country, any urban minister, chief minister, ask any citizen of this country, if you see a pothole, if you see a garbage, have a photograph, click it, point out the place, you send it to GBA, you send it to corporation. Any one leader has done?
I don't think people have been as proactive.
We have asked in Bangalore.
Yes.
That is why more than 10,000, 12,000, 13,000 lists have come here. My officers are looking at. Every morning they are traveling. We know it is a very, it will not be sorted out. Because there are a lot of financial constraints on that. We are trying to clean it up, do it, bring it up. It is not thing. See, I have taken this department on passion. See, I have to contribute something to Bangalore. I live in Bangalore, I have studied in Bangalore, I am working in Bangalore. I know within my tenure something I have to contribute in Bangalore.
Yes.
The way I planned for Bangalore, I am telling you, today no one will remember. Today I will get a lot of criticism. But after next 10 years, they will remember me what I have contributed to Bangalore.
It's so nice to see somebody take ownership
Maya,
to be part
you
of
should know
Bengaluru?
that I have planned for 104 kilometers of Bengaluru Business Corridor Road, which was lying from the past 2007. Governments could not take a decision. Today I have decided almost 40 kilometers of tunnel. Lot of criticisms are there.
Yes.
Without tunnel, why Bombay is taking the decision? How Japan has taken those days? How London took a decision on those days? Because you don't have option, you can't break roads.
Yes, but
All the main roads. You see the junction here, Hebbal Junction, you see Veni Junction, Kiarpuram, any place you look at. The same, you can't break the buildings. Only the option was either we have to go with a flyover or you have to go other way. Earlier government wanted to do a flyover, BJP criticized. Yes, I don't want it to go to
Bellary
politics.
Road, that, yes.
I don't want to go to politics of this one. Tell me, there was a BJP government in Delhi and in Bangalore. You tell me one place, one work, one flyover they could do to Bangalore in their tenure. I'll change my name today and go.
You spoke about listening to the people and how important it is.
No, they are
the voice of the
important people
yes.
of that
But
BPAC is there.
many people have been against this tunnel road, which you are very fond of.
See,
Isn't public transport a better answer?
see, whether they are fond of or not, I am not. See, you can't satisfy anyone. There will be criticism.
But isn't public transport a better answer?
How? Yes, public transport. How, please? How many vehicles you want? Let me tell. You want 1,000 vehicles? I will add up. Whether will they go in buses? No. Everyone want to have in a car. Everyone want their wife to be sit adjacent to the car. Everyone want their children to be there. How they want? They want to own a car. Everyone wants, because it is their personal, this one, I don't want. They earn, they spend.
But
so where can you break the roads? You give an alternative.
But where will the voice of the
That
people
is
be
why,
heard?
that is why I just discussed, decided, saw all the cities. That is why I decided. Earlier we had planned. Here my metro commissioner is there. Earlier Mr. Mahesh Rao also was there. We did in the Ragiguda one double-decker road. I saw again in some different part. We could have taken the decision earlier. Now about 44 kilometers we are having. First one road down, next a flyover, then the double-decker. Because there is no place. I have decided about 120 or 30 kilometer flyovers are next planned. 130 kilometers flyover. 100 kilometers this one. You see, it is not a small job. Financially, you need lot of support. Government has to be, people has to support. No one will do. Now I have taken this bold decision. It takes time. This 1 year, 2 year, 3 year is not sufficient for me. But the planning, the foundation, the work will start. I am telling you, all my young children are here. It is their future. We will see that Bangalore will be saved with all this, because time is money. I don't want them to waste their time in the vehicle itself. My daughter shouts at me.
Aishwarya.
Not only Aishwarya, even Avarna also. She coming there from this one, Appa, 1.5 hours. What is your government? What you are doing? You are going with it. She shouts at me. One Aishwarya also shouts at me. Coming from her school, 2 years she takes 1.5 hours. Earlier we used to go with 30 minutes I used to
Rajeshri Nagare.
Yes. Lot of, we have a problem. The common man.
You're listening clearly to the voices in your own family.
Yeah.
Is there a way it will be institutionalized that the voices of citizens can be heard?
Yes, of course.
Will there be a special forum, special sessions where people can express their views?
Of course, yesterday itself, now 369 watts will be done. 68 they have done. I was to convert one, 369 like that. I have said them to do. We will have a separate ward committee. All sections should be there. Their voices should be heard. They should decide. They should have a proper discussion, and we should give them importance. Otherwise, people participation, citizens participation will not work. At the same time, I am telling all of them, 50% of the women will be reserved. I want new leaders with them. In corporation, 369 wards, there will be 50% of women corporators. That is the
Excellent.
vision. 50%.
Excellent.
You take it from me. The next corporation will be filled with 50% of the women. From panchayat to parliament, I want this
Excellent.
new human. Because this is the opportunity. They are the decision makers in the house. Now they are the decision. We can't stop it. That is why we have decided. So
Then
I want them to become the new
Definitely
leaders.
Bengaluru will become great again.
New
Definitely.
New leaders.
Excellent, excellent. You mentioned funding for the Greater Bengaluru Authority, and of course the state will support, there will be a budget. What other forms of income are you looking at? Public-private participation or any other
Yes,
kinds of...
in some places we are looking at BOOT, build, operate, transport. We want public, because financial is a very big problem. The decision what we have taken, more than 1.5 lakh crores works we are planning. Because the tunnel itself takes about some 35-40,000.
The tunnel again.
The flyovers takes about more than 18,000 crores. 14,000 crores. Double decker takes 10,000 crores. So metro takes 16,100 crores. Like this buffer zone, 4,004. Now what I am doing, Maya, see, associated to the channels, which are these, what you call these drainages, we have to leave 50 meters.
Yes.
Now I have decided that we will make a new roads in that. Anyway, we never allow construction, make a proper...
over the stormwater?
Not on the stormwater. Adjacent to the stormwater, making one new roads. Because for schools, these are not heavy vehicles.
So there'll be no construction, but there'll be a transport. Okay.
More than 300 new roads will be added in Bangalore.
Alongside the
along the, like from starting from Hebbal to Nagwara, then from Rajarajeshwari Nagar to near the PS college. Like this, we have already identified, we have started notification, adding more roads, where we will give them TDR. We will give them compensation, no problem. Because we want vehicle to move, because children, they are taking 1 hour, 75 years, they start at 8 o'clock, they will reach very late, early morning they reach. I want children to go early to school and come back before the traffic goes.
Absolutely, before
all these
dark.
problems are there.
Many of the projects you've mentioned, they're massive infrastructure projects which people will be in charge of. And as you were saying, you're looking years ahead. You're looking, it's not tomorrow, it's not next year. You're looking years into the future. And while I'm sure you do hope that your party will be in power here for a long time, there are changes in government, there are changes in state government. How can you ensure that the projects will continue?
See,
whether it's BJP, Congress, JDS, whoever is there, how will it continue?
See, we are a party, Congress party. We have given constitution to this government, constitution this country. We have given freedom to this country. We have given nationalization of banks from this party. Whatever law the Congress party makes, starting from old age pension to anything, no other government can change. It may be right to education, right to food, right to information, it can't. We look at the larger agenda. It is not the small agenda. No, any government may come. Aadhaar card. BJP government was criticizing. What the option they had? They had to continue. Land in the villages about the land issues, right to whatever the land was plowing the land. They can't change. Like that in Bangalore, whatever we have decided, they can't. Now, no documentation of your properties were looking at. Now we are looking at digitalization of this property, scanning all those property. We don't want. Now I am bringing, they made some B Khata, A Khata. That is all bogus. Earlier we have given all the facilities to them. Now I am making all the B Khata into A Khata, collecting whatever has to be given to fine to them. We wanted to regularize some unauthorized construction. We don't want to break. There was a Supreme Court order. We could not. So whatever, there are a lot of hiccups in that. But still, we want all the citizens to have their documentation pakka, see that everything, whatever decisions we take on any issue, I think we look at a very larger, on a legal angle also. They can't change, any government can't change such type. Politically, they may criticize. I welcome them. Let them criticize. But at the same time, while making this law, I asked them, we formed a committee making this GBA. We formed a house committee. We made JDS, BJP also to be a part of it. They gave this, some of the members are here, sitting in front of you. It is a decision collectively.
Okay.
It is for the effective governance of Bangalore, for the betterment of Bangalore. We want a common man to speak to the commissioner, common man to speak to the assistant commissioner, chief engineer, ward, all the ward fellows will have an engineer. They should connect to themselves and raise their voice. Without their voice, without criticism, without people knowing what is going on, we can't change our system.
It cannot be top down.
Top down. Even they want them to speak to the officers, and they should know, we should give them their voice. Their voice is our voice. Their strength is our strength. Their life is our life. If they are happy, we are happy. We are looking at them. They should be strong because they are the taxpayers.
Yes.
They are contributing. Their future lies with their lifestyle.
We'll come to questions soon. I'm sure there are many.
Please.
So you are assuring us that regardless of the political party in power, the Karnataka projects, the Bengaluru projects will continue. The last question for you, what are the biggest changes do you think Bengalurians, people living in this beautiful city, are going to see as a result of the Greater Bangalore Authority?
See, now they are going to see, as you said, the first governance. Now within next 4 or 5 years on this mobility.
Okay.
Because we are adding 103 kilometers, 4 kilometers of Bangalore business corridor. We are having 100.
Where will this be?
This will be after Hebbal.
From Hebbal, okay.
After Hebbal near that Kogilu junction, no?
Yes, yes.
From there to the electronic city, one more road will come.
Okay.
It will be a big road, 6-lane road will come. It is called the Bangalore Business Corridor, which was notified in 2007. No decision took a government.
Okay.
I have asked HUDCO to give loan.
Okay.
They have agreed to give loan. I have asked Mr. Atik to chair that, though I was supposed to be the chairman.
Yeah.
Let some senior officer to look at. The BDA will look at. That is number one.
That will be one big change, yes.
Number two, tunnels. One small tunnel now will be, tomorrow it is coming before the cabinet for 1.5 kilometers, that Hebbal flyover to that other hospital there. One small tunnel will come. Then the major tunnel, 2 tunnels will come, north and south, east and west. 1 tunnel already I have called. Number third is 130 kilometers of flyovers, double flyovers which will add. Then 300 kilometers of this type of road adjacent to this solid water bodies.
What is the time frame like?
It will take nearly 3 to 4 years, not less than 3-4 years. But the tunnel will take more than 4 years, not less than, because it is, we have to run with the boring machines. The machines have to be imported from China or from Germany. It takes 1.5 years to come to here, because we have asked 13.5 meter dia. 6 vehicles, 3 vehicles going, 3 vehicles coming. 6-lane.
6-lane underground tunnel.
Underground tunnel. Because there is no other option. I have studied, I have visited different part of the country. I have gone to Mumbai, gone to different places. I went to different parts of the world, looked at, there is no other option. Criticism, a lot of them, they will criticize. Some of them are telling that I will take out in this Lal Bagh. I am not a madman to
You're
remove
not going
Lal
to touch
Bagh.
Lal Bagh.
That is one small area in the partner where there is a hill rock. That's it. They will go in the tunnel, that's all. They will come out. How can I take?
It won't hurt Lal Bagh.
If I touch Lal Bagh, they will break my head. I know that what will happen.
So Lal Bagh is safe.
We don't want. One side there is a hilly rock where there is no place. In that place there will be exit there. Exit there. We can't do that. If I take someone in car Kabun Park, will they leave me? They will not leave me. There was an exit around Vidhan Soda. I said, don't bring us around Vidhan Soda. You take it later. We have given one exit near this Sheshadri Road where that race course is there. Freedom Park. Near the Freedom Park, we are giving one exit. We wanted to attach that. We know because lot of acquisition issues are there. Lot of problems. But people there are there. There are some of them. They want to write. They want to names there. The media is there to write. Yes, nothing. We have sorted out all those problems. They have put some PALs in the court. Some sadists will be there. Some positive fellows will be there. Some criticism will be there. We will have to face all this. We are in public life. We should not shy away. Some will give garland, some will throw stones, some will throw eggs. All these things we have to receive. Some questions will be there. All these things will have to be seen.
Okay, now this is a great chance.
Some will break our head also.
Hopefully not. Let's be a non-violent society. A great chance now to have questions for the Deputy Chief Minister. Yeah, we'll start with that lady. We'll come to you. The lady in the pink kurta, yes.
Namaskara, sir. This is Shachi Pathak. We revere you for your foresightedness. We read you on Twitter. We are with you for the accountable, transparent and future-ready government. And it's not a question but a suggestion. You should not be hesitant in transforming Bangalore. See, when Mr. Modi decided to change Banaras, if you know about Vishwanath Gali, it was very narrow, very congested population. He transformed it. We were with him and it was irrespective of who says what. So this message is for you, sir. You should not worry whether the encroachment should be demolished or not. We want you to take action and we will be there with you always. I come from a constituency which is CV Raman Nagar. There is a Kakdaspura railway gate issue. The ROB is not built from 20 years from now. Before. And nobody is able to do it because a land acquisition issue is there. So this should not be a deterrent, sir, that why should I not demolish or take over the real estate. So you are going to build the city. We are there with you as citizens, whatever decisions you will take. You are a visionary, sir. You got this GBA on the floor. There was a time I said he will do it and he has done it, sir.
One voice of support there.
So
any question? Yes.
Yes, sir. So please look at the Kakdaspura railway gate issue because again there is this issue where land acquisition is required. I'm bringing it to the fore because we need a person like him to take a decision.
We'll give somebody else a chance. I think that's a voice of encouragement. You can bring the mic here.
Sir, senior citizen.
Please request to keep the question
Officer.
short.
I want Bangalore children to speak.
Yes, yes. The future of the city, yes.
Please go ahead.
Okay,
Please keep it short.
ಹಲೋ, ನಾನು ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಸಿಟಿಜನ್ 7-8 ವರ್ಷ ಹಿಡಿದು ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಗಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಸರ್. ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ದು ರಿನೋವೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲಾರ್ದೇ ಗುಂಡಾಗಿರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಿಸಿಂದ ದುಡ್ಡು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬರದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ CM ಬರದೆ, ಯಾರೋ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಲಾರ್ದಿಂದ ಡೆಪ್ಟಿ CM ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಲಂಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಧಾನಸೌಧಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಏನೂ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ದಯಮಾಡಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಸರಿಯಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಗ ತೋರಿಸಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ 7-8 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಏನೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಡೆಪ್ಟಿ CM ಎಲ್ಲ ತನಕ ಹೋಯ್ತು. ತಮ್ಮ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಲೆಟರ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು.
Okay, all right. Yes, at the back there. At the back there.
No, I'll just answer that young lady. Okay.
Dear audience, I request to please restrict your questions regarding TB. I know it is a great platform.
Don't go by individual things. Individuals, you come and give a letter. You discuss on Bangalore, GBA,
yes, please.
Public at large. One question should be helpful to thousands of people.
Yes.
So my name is Prajwal. I am a student of SSCL, which is St. Joseph Law College. So my question is about the Greater Bengaluru Authority itself. You talked about mobility, accessibility and roads flyovers, tunnels, flexibly. But my question is about the footpaths. So wherever I see the footpaths is over there, it's broken or rather ended in certain places or given certain obstructions in the center. For example, let's take about a post signs or a tree or something else. It will be for a person who is visually, I am visually capable, I can see those things and I can go. What about the people who are visually impaired? They can't see or they are blinded completely. So I want to question that part and what is your criticisms on those?
It's not a walkable city.
Okay, I'll answer to him first. Before I forget, I'll answer to him, then we'll go for the next question. Wait. See, as far as this madam is concerned, about the flyover, whatever the railway bridge is there, and definitely let me discuss with Ms. Railway people. The railway people have to take a decision on that. Number 2 is land acquisition after 2013. It is not a small decision. We have to pay the double plus what is the construction charge, solution, rehabilitations, lot of things are there. Now any property on the main road is not less than 20,000. If 20,000 a square feet is there, we have to give them 40,000 plus the other it goes about to 60,000 rupees a square feet. Humanly impossible for any government to give such type of compensation because it is very difficult. That is why we have taken all this code. As far as footpath is concerned, I fully agree with him because there is a lot of water lines coming. New 5th phase was been added. Now cables has to be dug inside. They never complete it in time. That is why we are coming out with a new system, putting a separate cable. You see I think none of you have observed this TV cable fellows all putting just like a big thing, sir. If I start cutting them today evening I can cut all the lines, but there will be no TV in any houses except everything. Then again you and cry will start it on this. I was a power minister, I know. But now almost 400 and 500 kilometers we have made a duct. No one is going either for the what you call this underground, what is it, this one? OFC cable. They are not laying it. If I cut, no services will be there. You all tell yes one day, I will cut it, then you will know about the difficulties. Night and day problem, the entire Bangalore will be shut on this issue. So we know that they have done mistake, but still we have to cooperate with some of them and see that the city runs. But we want to be in a very systematic way. Future, I think next week, myself, George, we have spoken that issue. We will take a very tough stand on that cable issue and see that all these footpaths will be repaired on
It needs to be pedestrian friendly. We have such beautiful
No,
walking weather.
and number
Yes,
2, we identified about the footpaths, all of them, these hawkers. There is a law in this country, we can't throw them outside. Now we have decided to give them vehicles, let them do business in the big footpaths and then they go back. We have identified, we have requested who all wanted to register. About 39,000 people have registered. We will give some social welfare work, some welfare schemes. We wanted to shift them. You see Malleshwaram, you see a lot of them. That is also a very big business economic going on. The common man will have to be facilitated. Street vendors have to be facilitated. There is a big challenge connected to all this Bangalore because all of them can't go to the big streets, big malls to buy vegetables, buy other things.
And the livelihood of the vendors
That is
also,
a
yes.
common man, we have to look at them also. So this is the issue. You see that even now everyone is having a phone pay, even the coconut fellow who is selling the tender coconut is having a phone pay. Because he took some money, then he has been getting a notice on this. Lot of difficulties are there on this issue. But anyway, I think we will keep this in, we know this, we are on the job on this
Just
issue.
a couple more questions about
Yes.
GBA Bengaluru generally.
Okay, next
I was asked to go to that side. Are you from that side? Okay, all right. Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
go ahead.
So none doubt ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು every student who are coming here, most of them come from metro. what do you tell about the metro price hike?
You are a Mount Carmel student?
Yeah.
I thought only girls are here.
Not anymore, sir. Not anymore. It's one of the changes of Bengaluru, one of the big changes.
It's a big change of Mount Carmel College.
Oh my God.
The city, the world is changing.
Sir, my question is, why is the metro price hiked suddenly?
Pardon?
My metro price is hiked.
No, see, compared to...
And one more thing, for the yellow metro line which recently started, there are only 3 metros and people are waiting around half an hour. So that's a big waste of time for people. So what do you tell about this?
Okay, good. See, metro price is not fixed by me. My young man, please hear me. Metro price is not fixed by me. There is a central government. Though we are partners, they are paying only 17-18%, rest 83% is by the state government. The decision of price fixing is by the central government. There is a committee. They fix what the price is. They look at the economics and they do it. Number one. What is your second question?
The yellow line.
Yellow
Not
line.
enough for coaching.
Yellow line we just started. There are engines. Suppose engine has to come from China. Lot of imports from China stopped. Now again Calcutta, some machines are going on, working out. Now fourth have come, fifth is come. As soon as the bogies come, definitely we will start. There is a timeline because in Bangalore we don't have such bogies to be placed. Now they are coming, some of them are coming voluntarily to start bogies also here. We are on the job. We know that we don't want to waste a line, we want transport. We have invested a lot. We will see that more lines, more vehicle, more frequency will be there. Thank you for your suggestion.
Good afternoon, Minister. My name is Francis, retired HL employee, 72 years. I am a ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೀದಿ ಸೇವಕನಾಗಿ 6 ವರ್ಷ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಏನಾಗಿ?
ಬೀದಿ ಸೇವಕ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ರಾಜಕೀಯವಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಜನಗಳ
ಬೀದಿ ಸೇವಕ.
ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ನಗರ ಲೈಬ್ರರಿ ಹಿಂಭಾಗ ನಾನು 10 ಜನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ರಸ್ತೆ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಲೈಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕೂ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಕರೆಸಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ,
ಮೊದಲು ನಿಮ್ಗೊಂದು ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
Citizen participation.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನ ಗುರುಗಳು ಸುಬ್ಬಯ್ಯ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 88 ವಯಸ್ಸು ನೇರ್ವಾ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು. ಇವತ್ತು 6 ಏರಿಯಾಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ರಸ್ತೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಂತ ಇಷ್ಟೆಯಿಂದ BBMP ಸಾಕಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆವು. ಈಗ GBಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಹುಟ್ಟುಳ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟರ್ಸು ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿಯವರು. ನಿಮ್ಮತ್ತ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ನಾನು ವಿಜ್ಞಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ನಾಯಕರನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ಚುನಾಯಿತಗಳು ಕೊಡಿ.
ನೀವೇ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವನಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಬೇಡ, ಕಂಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಆಯ್ತು, ತುಂಬಾ ಸಂತೋಷ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಾಯಕರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವರನ್ನು.
ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಾಯಕರು ನಾನು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಾಯಕರು ನೀವು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದು.
ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಕೊನೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ GBಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ಗಳು ನೀವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಲೋಕಲ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಸ್ ತಮ್ಮ ಆಜ್ಞೆ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಹೊರಮಾಗರದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಿರಸ್ಕರಿಸಿ ನೀವು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆಜ್ಞೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಡಿಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇದೆರಡು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸನ್ನಿಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಕೊಡಿ.
One last question due to paucity of time. One
last question.
No, give that lady.
One last question. Yes.
One ನಿಮಿಷ. Let's see.
ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ.
Good afternoon, sir.
ಮೇಲ್ ಡಾಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, this is a very nice GBA ನೀವು ತರ್ತಿರೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಒನ್ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್, ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಜನರೇಷನ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಎನಿ ಅಪ್ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಸಪೋಸ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ ಸೈಜ್ 10,000 ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಫೀಟ್ ಇದ್ರು 40% ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ಆಸ್ ಗ್ರೀನರಿ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಲಾ ತಂದ್ರೆ
It will be wonderful gift for the next 2 generations, sir. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು high rise buildings, ಆ green city ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮಾಯ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. So what I feel is, ಈಗ next ಏನೇ approval ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಯಾವುದೇ project, even if it is 2000 square feet, 40% of that should be greenery. ಅದು ನೀವು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ it will retain that name for decades, saying it is a green city, sir. ಅಷ್ಟೇ. In this GBA.
Here, I'm telling you, there is no 10,000 sital plot in Bangalore. Bangalore, earlier there was in Sadashinagar, in Malleshwaram, in Chamarajpet, in somewhere in Indranagar, it was there. Now government decided it can't give 10,000, only minimum is 50-80. In that, there is some regulation, how much setbacks can be given, what is that? They should do. But now the land prices become so costly, they are going 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So they are not using. Anyway, we can try to do that, we can insist on that. Citizens have to cooperate. They will tell, if you are insisting, then they have to go outside Bangalore. None of them wanted to go outside Bangalore. That is the biggest problem. Anyway, your suggestion is well taken up. I'll discuss with my town planners.
I think we
Thank
have
you,
to
thank
wrap
you,
here.
audience. Due to paucity
We
of
have to
time,
wrap, yes.
due to paucity of time, we will have to stop the questioning. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. You may catch up, sir, with another event. Thank you.
One question, okay.
Okay, last question by the sir here, who's been very insisting. Okay.
We will look at it, we will look at it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Noted, noted, sir.
See, the Cholan, you just speak to him, he has some problem behind the railway station, something he is telling, see what best we can.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
I want the
audience.
student to ask.
Okay, this is really going to be the last question. Sir is insisting it is from a student. So if there's a student who wants to ask a question, he insisted that he wants a student question. So hers is going to be the last one. Audience, kindly maintain the decorum of the event. Thank you so much. Please be seated. Just one question from the student, anybody. Sir, please maintain the decorum of the event. Please sit down, sir. Please sit down.
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಕಿನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಲೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Their vision is, yes, please. Hey, give mic to them. Give mic.
Amanita, mic.
Hey, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಡು.
Hold on, ma'am, please.
Good
After her
afternoon,
question,
sir.
hold on.
My question to you is...
What is your name?
Srinidhi. I'm a second year BA Journalism and Mass Communication student. So my question to you is, you said that it will take minimum 4 to 5 years to make tunnels and flyovers. So what is a temporary solution? Because it's very hard to come in the traffic, peak hour traffic is too much. So what can be done temporarily to solve that problem?
Well, that is why we are taking very small places where flyovers can be done, flyover is done. Our traffic police people also are just work out a scheme through artificial intelligence wherever the traffic is there to see that early traffic moves. I think short term and long term, both options are to be worked out. I think we will come out of the plan of action. Thank you for your suggestions.
Thank you, audience, for being so lovely. Okay.
One to her.
Okay, thank you, darling. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sir, I have one question on behalf of all the citizens, and I am 100% sure they'll agree with me.
Who are you?
I am Purnima Shetty. A very concerned citizen of Bangalore, working on the ground on a lot of issues. I'm not delving there. Sir, if a citizen errs today,
Yeah, that Navanirmana Vedike.
illa sir, safety for women. Safety for women.
Okay.
Sir, today if a citizen jumps a signal, the traffic fine is very beautifully, seamlessly put on the citizen, right? But when there is lack of accountability, when a road or anything, the authorities are never held, sir. Can GBA bring some kind of a system where ಅವ್ರಿಗೊಂದು ಭಯ ಇರಲಿ ಸರ್, ನಮಗೆ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಭಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. We know that if we break any law, there is some repercussions, but it is not there for the government agencies. So if the GBA can bring some kind of a grievance, very solid, very strong grievance mechanism where we know that they are accountable. ನಾಳೆ ಅವರು ಲೇ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ರೋಡ್, if they have not followed whatever is there in the DPR, if it is not done, they should also have fear that they are going to be held accountable for this. Anything and everything should be accountable. We are only asking for that.
Nodappa, traffic. Police. See, they have a question. You answer it. You give the form for my bank team. You heard him? Heard her? Madam?
ಸರ್ ಅವರು GBA ಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
ಅಲ್ಲ, GB ಅಲ್ಲ. It is your job. It is not GB job.
ಬಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ನೆಗ್ಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ FIR ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಅದು
ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನಾವು ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಲಾನ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಎನ್ಕರೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ದಿಲ್ವೋ, ದೆನ್ 16 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಫೈನ್ಗಳು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಜೋಬಿಂದ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಿದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಭಯ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸು ಮತ್ತೊಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇಟ್. ಬಿ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಆನ್ ಇಟ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್. Okay, finish.
Thank you, audience. 40 years back.
Sir, after the talk, you can talk.
Thank you. Please maintain the decorum of the event. Thank you so much. Thank you, audience. 40 years back, entered MCC as a student union leader, came back to MCC with GBA, a happy moment for us. 25 lakh IT professionals, 2 lakh foreign passport holders working in Bengaluru, a city with a population of 1.4 crore, requires a visionary and passionate leader like Shri D.K. Shivkumar to lead Bengaluru towards sustainable, culturally thriving and economically robust, quote-unquote, super city. For this to happen, we need governance reforms such as GBA. Sir, thank you so much for giving us your time and being present with us today. We, as residents of Bengaluru, look forward to the transformation our beloved city is due to undergo under your leadership. Don't worry, Lalbagh and Cubbon Park is definitely staying. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause to our Deputy Chief Minister, Shri D.K. Shivakumar. I now request our principal, Dr. George Lekha, to please give away a token of appreciation to sir. And along with her, Shri Kavita Srinath as well. I now request our panel of commissioners who were there for the previous panel to please come up on the stage for the group photograph. I also request Revati ma'am, Raghu sir and Harshita, Dr. Suma Singh, Dr. Alice Matthew and our principal Dr. George Lekha to come up on the dais for a group photograph. We are also accompanied by Sister Prafulla from the management. May I request all the commissioners to please come up from the previous panel. Shri Maheshwar Rao, Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, GT Prabhakar Reddy sir, Karigowda sir, Anup Shetty, RK Mishra, Harish N, to please join us for the group photograph. Maya ma'am, come. Come. Okay.
ಬಿ ಕ್ಲಿಪ್ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ DCM ದೆ.
We request the audience to please stay back as we'll resume the panel discussion with our commissioners.
No, sir, we will have it.
Everybody has to leave. There is enough now. Leave it.
Enough,
I think
sir.
the high point is reached. After this, it will be anticlimax. I'll show you what we are putting up.
I didn't know it was.
Request the audience to please stay back for the session to be convened with the commissioners. You can ask all your questions to them.
Explain the new ward structure, how it is.
Sorry, I left my phone.
Yeah.
Can you just ask everybody to be seated?
Can I request all the audience to be seated such that sir can leave? Please be seated. Let's not mob up here. Let's just be seated, please.
Hi. How are you?
Let him go. Sir, you bani sir. Thank you, sir.
Close it then. Close it up.
We'll close it?
Oh,
Yeah. I think that was the main session.
Sir, I know that your office is told that we are no working.
What are we doing? Nicely spoken, sir.
Once again.
That's sad. I didn't want to bother you today, but yes, sir. You're doing good work.
Can we?
Nothing to cancel. I'm not sitting for you. Cancel. How? There's no safety, ma'am.
How do we? No, how do we do a session?
There is no session. All the commissioners are leaving.
So you think this is temporary?
See, can we just catch hold of them? Raghu!
You didn't give any.
Nobody would have spoken after me. At least those who are there study here. I come from Goa, so I don't have in the front.
You have more panel now, or you're leaving?
Gone. They just went off. I'm leaving.
Prabhakar sir, you know?
Sir,
Rohini.
namaskara. Rohini anta.
Journalist in the national
Sir,
media.
CNN News 18 ali kelsa.
No, but she is...
Sir single-handedly reformed BMTC from inside. Very nicely, lot of initiative, lot of great things.
ಹೌದು ಲತಾ ಅವ್ರು ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಇದ್ದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾರಿ ಸರ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನನಗೆ ಐ ಮೀಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಬಟ್ he already this is second experience in the last
You
10
should do
minutes.
deep dive on how BMTC runs operations.
Yeah.
It's a very big operation.
Hi. How are you? I just can I connect with you sir after that so I'll just meet someone else.
What do we do? We can call there. We can put everybody in the center and do something. Huh? Everybody disappears.
Okay,
huh? No, but you couldn't even get a chance to speak.
No issue.
Okay, I'll call Lalisman for water. However, he wanted to push his propaganda, he did. So right, Hi. No, I am not Priya. I'm so sorry. I met 20 of professors when I came earlier. And I am the alumni. Unfortunately not a bad. That's a big problem. Glad that you're here. And I you can go on. One last panel. She must have left for the class. Yeah. I am from Priya Ma'am's department. Economics, Dr. We'll see wait, she's trying to convene the panel. So, all the rubbish. Hi. No, they're going back. What did I? Even the guest also is left. The Baba moment. You better behave, I know him. You're so busy. हाँ वो बेटर था. That's a good one, Sridevi. हाँ? सब निकल गए. Stop them. Oh shucks, even up they're going. सब Oh. Vote of thanks.
The kids are leaving even at the top because it's so uncertain.
But I think today two people to come.
So Aarti sir, and you are, ma'am, you only come up.
Because Upar to bring them down also did not there now. The other whoever is trying to do like this, no, not interested. So, Mr. Naresh. Yeah. Yes, better. That's a good question. हमारे तक fewer of the attendance दिखा दे बेटा. So I like. We'll wind up then. I'll ask Alice ma'am to come up for the vote.
I know those people. Rohini Porting.
We'll compensate ma'am. Where's Alice? Alice ma'am. Alice ma'am. She's running around, I don't know for what. All right, to the ones who are here, so kind of you. As we conclude this enriching event, I now request Dr. Alice Matthew, Head Department of Political Science, to officially propose the vote of thanks. No, they're there.
They're there, okay. Request all of you to please be seated. A very good afternoon to one and all. On behalf of Mount Carmel College Autonomous, Department of Economics, Public Policy and Political Science and BPAC, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to all who made the GBA conclave a grand success. This was indeed a mega event and the response was excellent. We are deeply honored by the presence of our esteemed Deputy Chief Minister, D.K. Shivakumar, MLA Rizwan Arshad. Thank you both for your inspiring words and for gracing this occasion. Our sincere thanks also go to the distinguished civil servants, commissioners, officials, journalists who shared their valuable insights today. We extend our gratitude to the media for their coverage and to our management, our director, principal, finance officer and the entire team for their constant encouragement and support. A special word of appreciation to BPAC, without whom this event would not have been possible. A special thanks to Revati ma'am, Harshita, Raghu. Thank you for your partnership and guidance throughout. Our heartfelt thanks to the civil society representatives, students from other colleges and the general public for their enthusiastic participation. Behind every successful event are many helping hands. Thank you, Raja, for your technical support, Ajay, Vijay, and others for the smooth stage management. Finally, a big thank you to all our students and volunteers for your dedication and energy. Thank you once again and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you all.